What's up? What's up? It's the Art the Most Experience with Deke. I'm Art the Moats, and that's my main man, Deke. What's the word, Brody? What's the word, man?
Yeah.
I like the drip, bro. You fire. You fire, man. I ain't gonna hold you. You clean.
Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just wanted to give a shout out to Mason.
You should. Heck
Making
yeah,
the
man.
last quarter of the season fun. Making
Let's
the
go.
offense fun.
Big talk. Big talk.
Liked his effort in yesterday's game, too. I
Mm-hmm.
think he played good.
I would agree.
He played good. Like how he came back in the second half. Was a big part of the reason why we were able to get it to one score. He was playmaking out there. So just wanted to give him a shout out. Made the, like I said, the last quarter of the season. Good time. Fun vibes.
Yeah.
A little memorable, you know?
Nah, respect.
Getting
respect.
the jersey for that Cincy game.
Bro, that was epic.
You know, just
Never
yeah,
forget
him
epic,
putting on
epic.
a good stretch of 4 games here. Just want to give him the final shout out. Rock the jersey, and yeah, this pirate hat might be one of my top
Bro.
3 or 4 hats right now.
I love the
Got it in the
build
mail
of
like
it.
a
Seriously.
week or 2 ago.
I love the look of it, man. The little box vibe. It's OG
Yes,
with it.
it's
It's clean,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Definitely
yeah,
clean,
yeah.
definitely clean.
Just hey, it is what it is, man.
Nah.
Rough game yesterday, but we still here. I
Nah,
mean,
respect, man.
that's what it's all about.
Hey, man, that's why you play the game, baby. We learned a lot. Some good stuff that happened. Some not so good stuff. Obviously, we're going to react to it all. And everything that comes, from it as well, man. So, yeah, man, we'll definitely get into all that, baby. Absolutely, absolutely. I like it there, man. I like it. Shoot. Oh, man, I ain't even on that, bro. You already know what I'm on, man.
I peeped the shirt. I think.
Oh, so I'll tell you, to be fully transparent, man.
I didn't know if it went back to the comment I
Nah.
made from
I got
a
you.
podcast. From
I got you.
last week.
I'm going to be fully transparent with y'all, man. My energy about 40 minutes ago was drastically different, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I had my Bills stuff on. I was going to come in and talk big boy spicy to everybody up here, including the chat. But unfortunately, Deke kind of caught, the little bit of it when he was walking in. I had just found out that when I was in California, was that a year? What? I guess because it's January now, that would
Might
be
be
2
two-
years
might
now
be
because
2
it's
years
January.
ago.
Yeah. So 2 years ago when I was out there for the, 30-day situation I was dealing with, my roommate who was out there, I just found out he passed away. So, yeah, I was a little bit caught off guard trying to process all of that. Yeah, man. So I'm here, but yeah, it's just a lot processing right now, man. RIP to, it's like I said, man, Ronald Powell, man, that is crazy to me right now. But we definitely gonna talk this game, man. So yeah, I'm gonna rock with you. I'm gonna give you some energy. But yeah, bro, that was just
You had it all in the queue.
yeah,
you had
man.
it all
Like
teed up.
literally, bro. Literally, I'm talking, man. Like blew my whole vibe, man. I'm like, oh, why did I even open the app, bro? Yeah. So here I am. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm texting the homies like, bro, y'all, what that? Did you know that happened? What could we have done? And here we are. So yeah, baby. But we fresh in this thing. So yeah, we're gonna get through it, man. So y'all hit that like button on the front end, and y'all know how we're gonna get out there today, because we got plenty to digest.
Tito Good Vibes says sorry about that, Moats.
No, all
Big
love,
the
man.
Batuzzi says
Yeah.
condolences, Moats.
No, all love. Like I said, it
Scott
caught me
having heck,
completely
rest
off
in
guard, baby.
peace.
Completely off guard. I had no clue. It sucks. Yeah, it definitely sucks, though, man. So we're going to work through it, though, man. I should have practiced with this, unfortunately, right?
Huh?
Unfortunately. So, yeah. But let it rock, baby. Let it rock.
No.
It's all love, man. You know that.
No,
Yeah.
you can't be hard on yourself, man. Losses, like, it's
I'm
tough
working-
no matter what.
I'm working through it. Like I said, working
Yeah.
through it, baby. Even though it's like, I always feel like I'm reminded by just the losses of people with the podcast. I was talking to you a little bit before we started up, and how when I was out there recording,
Right.
every morning my man's in the other room. Hey, yo, Marty, Ma, I hear you, Ma, Ed. I hear you over there with your little TV show. Like every single time, like get on me, man. It's like, dang. I come out that room, have my fly stuff. I'm like, bro, you dripped up, bro. We ain't going nowhere today. I'm like, right, I had to talk to my dog though, man. You know what I'm saying? So it just sucks, bro. It just sucks, man. But like I said, man, we here. So let's get it.
Start off with some of the shout-outs then?
Man, yeah, man. Let's start it off on a positive vibe, please. Let me know where y'all tuning in from, man, so we can start this thing off the right way and get you the big boy shout-outs to start today's show.
I need to shut this one down real quick.
Oh,
here.
no. What they
Daniel
coming at you
Hall
for,
says,
man?
if
What they
anything,
say?
we need to trade up to get to his brother.
Hey,
Hell
bro, I just saw
no.
something with him where they were saying he was trying to transfer or something, right?
He's got to go to the pros.
So what happened? What was different about his ruling versus like some of the other guys?
I have no clue. He just doesn't get another year of eligibility for college, so he has to declare for
How
the
long
pros.
was he in college? Did he get the 5, 6? Where was he at?
I saw he was a redshirt senior, so I don't know if he was going for like a 6th year or 7th
Well, because
year.
I've seen the one dude that they said just transferred, I think, to, was it Oklahoma maybe? Who was like from the class they said of like 2018 or something, like 2018 or 2019. I'm like, bro, how are you still in college right now? So yeah, man, like craziness, bro, craziness.
But no, I'm shutting that shit down right now.
Yeah.
No to his brother. Country Malik, 48, tuning in from the 843, Charleston, South Carolina. Jacob Glenn from Morgantown, West Virginia, the 304.
Shout out.
X Concepts. Tuning in from 724 Claridge, PA. Moats, I saw you throwing snowballs from the stands. Not cool.
Oh man, come on, don't do me like that. I've seen how Still a Nation acted prior to it, leading up, in the game and post game. Y'all can't come at me. Y'all showed yourselves. Yeah, I'm good, baby. I'm good.
Gondason 07530 Colfax, California, wiping away the tears still. LMAO.
I get it. I definitely get it, baby.
Richard Arbizo 310 Carson, California. Justice for Coach T, and hope you enjoyed your cinnamon dulce latte dark side modes.
Yes, no, salute him. So yesterday I received some super specifically for Starbucks for the Bills winning. It was when I was in a way better mood. I was like super amped up. I was turning up, enjoying myself like how I was the majority of today.
Who's doing that?
There's a lot of people's turning up today, man.
Who's sending these super chats?
Yeah, bro, it's just the people. The people.
I hope it wasn't names I recognize.
It was definitely names you recognize.
Oh,
the people.
God.
It's the people.
No.
The people did, and they were real specific. They were like, Moats.
We got traders.
They were like, Moats, hey, cheers to you. I was like, dang, all right. Condolences too, and cheers. Since I did halfway lose, right? I technically did. I told you I was going halfway lose, halfway win. But we didn't turn up on Monday. So I partied on Monday. All right. It's Tuesday now. Now I'm recovering from the packs. So it's all good. It was like an exotic playoff pack or something crazy, bro. So yeah. That's what they said. I ain't hit it though. I ain't hit it too hard. I had a lot going on, bro. If I would have known I was going to get this little bit of news, I would have hit it even more to just elevate me a little bit higher. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of pulling me down. I ain't like this vibe, bro. Definitely ain't like this vibe. But yeah, you're not a playoff hybrid exotic. It's not purple haze like champion haze or something like that. Gold haze. Yeah.
You're giving me the PC answer on the pack, or the PC adjective on the pack right now, because you can't do the playoff pack until you complete the playoffs.
I'm just chilling, bro. I'm just chilling, man.
What pack was it really?
I was just chilling, bro. I'm just, like I said, bro. It was
only one game against one team.
It was just like I said, it was some packs going on. It was a pack. That's what I mean. That's what I do though. How was your pack? Didn't you say you have a pack this week? I thought you had a pack you traveled. Did you travel with the same pack? You had a different pack. What's your pack game like right now? Is it still fresh? You go put it on the shelf today. You go hit it anyways. I'm just wondering.
Maybe I'll pull up that vintage 2021 pack.
There it is.
But the one I was planning on smoking yesterday, I got to put that one on the shelf.
Fair enough. They say
for sometime in the future.
They say if you store it the right way, it can have a shelf life for 6 months to like a year. So
really?
Hopefully, you know what I'm saying, it might work out for you. It might.
Okay. John Easton.
Ooh, John. You gonna like John. I think, I don't know if you're gonna like John, but you might like John. Because John is still a believer in Kenny. But he's really heavy-handed in his approach for his belief in Kenny.
Yeah, he says 4-1-2.
Yeah, he's very, very heavy-handed.
Told you to play Kenny. Mason showed up, man.
Yeah, bro.
I don't think Mason was the issue in yesterday's game.
Not at all. He feels strongly about it, though. He does feel like that was a big part of
In fact, Mason was balling in the second half.
Bro, he was cooking.
Mason was matching Josh Allen in the second half. I keep hearing this stuff about, do we have a guy that could match up with Burrow, all these other AFC quarterbacks? Mm-hmm. If Mason can play like what he did in these 4 games consistently,
that's what you're looking for.
We have a quarterback that can compete with those guys.
That's what you're looking for, baby.
No, it's not going to look as flashy as Josh Allen, but he showed me he could do enough to
yeah.
win football games and go toe-to-toe with those guys
Yeah.
in a playoff environment.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the other thing you got to consider. That was Mason's first playoff game on the road up in Buffalo.
Hey.
The dude showed up,
Not
man.
playoff-like. Not this is kind of like a
The
playoff
dude showed
scenario.
up.
That was the playoffs, man.
The dude showed up. We just did too much stupid stuff in the first half.
Man.
Too much stupid stuff.
And
Part of it was the Mason pick. So that's on him, but
you had the
he
Mason
overcame
pick,
it though.
You had the Pickens fumble. I mean, like I said, it's self-inflicted to an extent.
The Pickens fumble, stupid miscommunication on defense. Obviously, we were having mental lapses out there.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring up the refs in the second half,
and that's fine.
But we dug ourselves. Ultimately, we dug ourselves too deep of a hole to put it in the refs' hands to always make the right call.
Yeah.
You got to take more control of what you can control, and we didn't do that. We had stupid mistakes.
In the postseason, or just in general, we talk about when you're playing against good teams, when you spot good teams' points, or you allow good teams to get a lead early, it's tough to beat them, man.
Come on.
Like,
but we got it to one score, legitimately. Like, we were legitimately in the game.
So that's the testament to let you know that we are not far off of what we truly want to accomplish. But at the same time, you can also see that it's not necessarily a mass overhaul that is needed. It's the small, all right, a little incision here, a little bit, change this right here. And that's the difference right now, man. But I thought that was a prime example of it yesterday, man. So, yeah.
Yeah, it all depends on how you want to spin it. Are we in this purgatory of all these playoff losses? It's never going to get better.
I mean, that is one of the narratives that is going around right now, bro.
And I get that. I mean, it does feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But my side of it is like, all right, this is our second year without Big Ben. We have a very young core. It's not the same team that was around back in 2017.
Yeah.
Or even 2020, whenever we went 11-0 to start the season and we lost to the Browns in the wild card. It's a very different team. Like, we have some pieces like TJ and
Cam
and Minka. That's about it. And Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Offense is completely new, and then we have a bunch of other new young pieces on defense. Yeah. I view this more as like, I think this can be a stepping stone in the right direction. Like, this is good playoff experience for these young players, for this young core.
Yeah.
I think we can run it back.
Mm-hmm. Me, man, we on the same page. We saw everything that we were looking to see. The question marks around Mason in terms of could he handle playoff scenarios? Could he handle going on the road, hostile environment against one of the top quarterbacks in the league? I thought that he handled himself well. I thought that the difference was you just saw him make the mistake, and Josh, unfortunately for us, didn't make the mistake.
The game played out opposite of how anyone expected it to.
Yeah.
We had the 2 turnovers. Right. Meanwhile, we've been taking care of the ball this whole time. And the Bills were completely clean.
Yeah.
Nothing from James Cook. Josh Allen didn't put the ball in harm's way one time.
The
only time it was the running back dropped it. The ball popped up. And one of us almost dived to get it, and we didn't. Yeah. But that wasn't even on Josh Allen. Like, he didn't put the ball in a bad spot.
And even when you were expecting his signature, he's scrambling out the pocket, is late in the down, throwing it across the middle of the field, late in the down. That was when he hit
complete. He did it a couple times. Yeah, and he did it a couple times, and it worked.
Yeah. So you said, man, when he's playing like that and their team isn't turning the ball over, and then in contrast we are turning it over, I mean, it's gonna be tough to win anytime, man.
Yeah, we got it within. Yeah, we got it within one score.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was gonna get real interesting though, if the punter couldn't come back. When Sam Martin pulled up chasing after Herbig on the fake block.
Yeah.
Because now you're going to be talking about the difference of field position or potentially them not being able to punt on 4th downs. We know how we can.
But I guess it wasn't his kicking leg, right?
Yeah,
it worked out.
It's crazy. I'm like, bro, how did that happen?
Kicked it completely fine whenever he got the chance.
Yeah, I was like, that was one of them, just the luck of the draw right there, man. All the other injuries that happened, that was one of the lucky breaks right there. Because that was part of the complaint that I even saw with, Presley, right? And even in the game, you can kind of see it. It's like, man, they do punt that thing, and it's like, oh, yeah, good luck.
Presley didn't have any shanks, but
he did it, but
he's not giving us enough.
He doesn't consistently put them where we would need it in a game like that, where you could see their punter doing that. Yeah,
field position could matter. Where instead of you getting it at the 35, you have favorable field position. You get it at the 10 or 15. Yeah. You have to get another first down or two to keep your drive going.
And that's one of the things
that could be a difference maker.
Well, and that's one of the things I would say the punter up there, Sam Martin, he doesn't get utilized a lot, but he does consistently put that thing where it needs to be put. And I thought that definitely showed up as well. Just like I said, it just looked like the difference of They did all the little things right. Tackling, no missed,
which is something
no missed
the Bills
assignments.
haven't been doing.
Oh,
though.
thank you.
You've been watching every one of their games, and I've
you
been
already
seeing
know
them
we're
too.
on the same page, bro.
They've been screwing themselves in a lot of these ones, but they're getting out with the wins.
Yeah, the tackling was night and day. The communication on the back end with all the injuries for them dudes was night and day. Even their pass protection. We thought that at least with Highsmith, you would still even get more and more pressure out of that thing. Marcus Golden and Highsmith had sacks, but it still never felt like Josh was under duress like that either.
Not at all.
And that was the other part where you're like, that's one of the things that we said coming in, we should be able to take advantage of. It was weird, man. It was definitely one of them ones, but you talked about us being young. And not just young, a lot of dudes being new to the playoffs. For the Bills, they're not new to the playoffs. And I do feel like early part of the game, man, they just started out and understood what this was in terms of the intensity of it, the speed of it, and how everything is just literally do or die. And I felt like for us, we kind of warmed up to that thing. But once we got going, I thought midway through that third quarter, man, we started to play some of our best ball that
we were right
seen.
there with the Bills.
Absolutely.
Right there.
And we were putting pressure on them, man. When that thing got cut to 11, bro, that was pressure. But the thing was, they answered. And unfortunately for us, we weren't able to answer. And now, obviously, we'll talk about, the fourth down, GP, PI, no PI, route, no route, all of that type of stuff.
That's my thing. Some of the stuff in the second half, we did get it close. We cut it to 7, and then it just seemed like all the calls were going against us. And it was ticky-tack stuff.
Right.
Like, whenever Allen had the ball in that series after we got it to one score, the Miles Jack back-to-back penalties. I think even the penalty to set the Bills up with that good field position was the thing with Dan Moore. What the hell was that?
Well, Dan Moore hits the dude on the. But remember, that didn't have a negative effect because that was the kickoff.
But didn't that set up the Bills with good field position though?
Initially for 35? The kick, but we ended up tackling. But we tackled him on the 30, I thought.
Yeah. I mean, it was still good field position though. I mean, it matters. You get what I'm saying? It was just all that stuff added up, and then when we got the ball back on offense, 2-score game. Yeah, I thought it was back-to-back plays at the end. The Pickens on fourth down. But then the one before that, I thought it was even more egregious. Did you see that?
Which one?
The hold on Jaylen Warren. His jersey's getting tugged like a foot.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But I didn't think the refs did the Steelers any favors there in the second half in their comeback efforts. But, again, we dug ourselves too deep of a hole early on. I think both are parts of how the game played out. They each tell a little bit of a story.
Yeah, they could both be true.
That's how I feel. I think they're both true, and it is what it is. We put the game in the refs' hands, and too little, too late.
Yeah, man, both of them things could absolutely be true. We can talk about some of these calls.
But we also didn't play good. You could talk about our defense, some of the tackling, some of the miscommunication too. So there was a lot there.
One of the things that kind of frustrated me was this. I thought that our A players on defense didn't play as good as the Bills' A players on offense, bro. In terms of the missed tackles, the blown assignments that we dealt with resulted in touchdowns, and were featured by our key people. Minka, KZ,
I'll be honest with
you.
you.
I'm like, bro, these are our guys.
The Minka missed tackle at the end of the game on the Shakir one, I'm actually happy it happened.
Why is that?
Because it's more about the time at that point.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Because the Bills, it's better for them to run out the clock as much as possible. Because either way, you got the field goal.
Yeah.
You got the field goal right there. You're going to go up 2 scores either way. I'd rather, all right, fine, you go up 2 scores, but we get more time to actually try to get the ball down the field. Yeah. We could put together a 4-minute drive, keep our timeouts, and then kick it off to the Bills. You have 2 minutes left. We got to get one stop. And then we get the ball for that final drive with 1:30 left. A lot of things have to go right. But at least, dude, at least it's not the Bills up 10 and then it's 3 minutes left or 2 minutes left trying to get that drive.
Our strategies are very different when it pertains to end of the game stuff.
The clock's your worst enemy at that point, though. Yeah. If you're going to be down 2 scores either way, give me more time because you're down 2 scores.
Enough. Like I said, bro, we just got different philosophies on how we would go about that. I didn't look at Minka missing that tackle and I'm like, well, that's a good thing. That's all.
I didn't either. It resulted in the touchdown.
No, that's why I'm just
it was the touchdown that was the good thing.
That.
Obviously, I would have liked him to make the tackle, but since he missed it and then everyone else wanted to look like stumbling idiots out there and trying to tackle him, he ended up scoring the touchdown, and that was the better result.
But the way it came off was oh, this was good that he missed the tackle because
It ended up
touchdown.
it ended up being good after he got the touchdown on that play.
Could you also look at that one play and say that this was also a big kind of picture of what we struggled with all day versus that Bills team for 4 quarters was our tackling. We couldn't tackle worth a day going, bro. It was horrible. All 3 levels: D linemen, linebackers, corners, and safeties. That's my only thing, man. It's just like, it's frustrating, but I get it. I do get it, though.
You want to just go to Supers?
Shoot. Yeah, we ain't even getting no check-in, huh?
I said a few. I said
hold
quite
on.
a few.
I do want to shout out one person real quick, though, man. They commented our last live. Let me shout them out real quick, man. Was it at Paranormal in the Funhouse in Landon, who is 10. They tune in a lot, and they were going to watch their first Steelers playoff game, man, and they wanted us to shout them out. They literally had commented on everything on our last live, and I was like, you know what, man? I made a note of it. This was supposed to be on yesterday's show, but obviously, since, the game was just, they got postponed. Sure. So ultimately, I want to shout you out today. So Landon, man, we appreciate you. He says he's one of your biggest fans also. Damn. 10 years old, so salute you on that, Landon. And yeah, Paranormal in the Funhouse. Pops, salute you on that as well, man. Appreciate y'all tapping in with us. And, the father-son dynamic. It's always close to my heart right there, man. So definitely appreciate y'all for that, man. But, yeah, man, let's tap into some of these supers. Y'all hit that like button one time. Don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so just yet. Definitely appreciate y'all tapping in with us today.
All right. First one of the day. Johnny Utah. Steelers media is going to run this franchise into the ground.
Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad. It was literally, I thought that this was the first one. Apparently, it was something that came in before this. They had some stuff on their mind today. All right, my bad. But you know what? I jumped the gun. So should I not jump the gun? I ain't mean to jump the gun. You reread Johnny real quick, and I'm going to tap it on Johnny. I ain't mean to do that.
The Steelers media is going to run the franchise into the ground.
I can understand that. How do you feel about it, though?
I just don't think the Steelers organization pays attention to the media that much in their decision-making. Because if they did, I think who we have coaching this team or some of our players would be different. If the media had it their way, if we listened that closely, then we'd be a lot different. And just even how we handle our business, we wouldn't be as steady and patient and like, let's see how everything plays out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think we listen to the outside noise that much. I'm talking about Rooney. I'm talking about people in the front office, Steelers organization, Tomlin.
I mean, I think it's one of them things where I definitely agree. They don't listen to it with it being like a primary thing, but I would also point back to like the Matt Canada scenario where
you're also aware.
Yeah, it got to the point where he was definitely aware when he's doing an interview preparing for a team and he's having to answer questions about, do you know how people talk about you online on social media? It's like, yeah, we get what, what the energy is. So, I mean, my perspective on it is this. Media is media. They're going to paint a picture regardless. And you got the ones that are out there that are going to do it in a positive light, kind of like what we do over here. You're going to have the people that do it in a negative light, like you can see other places. But that's just kind of like how life is. You got good people, you got bad people. Media is going to be that, man. It's all about how you react to it. I think with Coach T, Mr. Rooney and company, they don't allow it to take control over them. They control how they want to respond to it. And I think even yesterday in the press conference, you could see even how Coach T answered certain questions. And then when he was asked the question that he didn't feel was appropriate at the time, he just bounced. He's like, bro, I'll deal with that later. So I can understand how, with media, you got this very unique world that we live in. You got the professional analysts, you got the TV people, you got social media people, you got credential, you got non-credential. So it's like everybody has something to say, get out, and things like that. And it's a lot more accessible. But I think even more so now, the team does try to hunker in to focus more and say, you know what, we can't listen to all this because everybody's going to have something to say, whether it's positive or negative, just because that's where we living in right now, man.
I think the unique thing about Canada too was it reached the fans chanting "Fire Canada" many times.
So it's like that's still a form of media, but it's like,
so like
still hearing
you
that.
were faced with it,
right? You're
faced with it every time at home games. Right. I mean, even on some away games. Hell, on College Game Day they had.
Right. So it's like no matter how much you want to ignore it, it's like, bro, you're still going to see it if you're walking around. But that's the part where it's like, they have to be able to channel it and compartmentalize. And I think that they did do a good job of that. And I think this team had. Mason's a prime example of that, because obviously we know what he endured prior to this opportunity. We could talk GP, similar stuff like that, man, in terms of how he's handled the media. Now I'm sure he's going to have some more media that's going to want to talk to him. Oh, man, you're really upset now? How you feel about the offseason, But
those are the type of malign comments from Pickens I appreciate.
Right.
Ripping on the refs.
Yeah.
Let's not rip on our quarterback or things inside the Steelers organization. Everyone could get behind you ripping on the refs after a game like that.
Yeah.
Love those comments. Why not?
Yeah.
Last game of the season, gonna fine you, whatever. All right. Now you go on vacation.
Hey, look, say it from a person who's not getting fined. Oh, they just gonna fine y'all, yeah, whatever. It's all right. They finna hit that man.
He had to get what he had to say off his chest.
Hey, man, I hope it was worth it to him. You know how I feel. Hey, man, freedom of speech. Obviously, you got consequence that come with it. But man, shout out to it. I'm glad he got it off his chest, and I hope he does feel better about it, man. All right, let me get a couple of these other ones that came in earlier. Chef Buck says, Moats, you better talk your ish to all these lame ass Steeler fans giving you heck all week. Clearly, it's not a rivalry. That's what he said. Clearly, it's not a rivalry, with the laughing emojis. Steelers beat themselves. Refs didn't help. Big decisions at QB this offseason. That's what Chef Buck said. Listen. I'm going to just do we was doing all the biblical stuff, the Proverbs and all that, man. So, I'm just going to try to just be graceful through it all right? I'm just trying to be graceful through it all. You got to be graceful, when you're winning. You got to be humble when you're losing. I'm trying to show grace, all right? I could easily come in here decked out head to toe in my game uniform, visor included, chin strap with all my signatures. And the tights, they still fit, all right? I've done a great job of staying in shape to make sure they fit, socks included. But, that's not the energy, man. No, we're going to be humble. We're going to be graceful. And I'm going to love on Steelers Nation, okay? I'm going to take the positive energy that I had up until about 30 minutes before the show started, and I'm going to just bring that over here today, all right? Because clearly, after what I saw take place pre-snowstorm, everybody's a meteorologist. Everybody knows Buffalo versus Orchard Park. I'm like, bro, tell me y'all never been to Buffalo and Orchard Park tell me y'all never been to Buffalo and Orchard Park. I didn't do all of that. The soft, this is soft, that's soft, you soft, she soft, they soft. I'm like, bruh, all of this stuff. Oh, they trying to clear the field off so just Buffalo can play on a good field. I was like, well, where do the Steelers play if only Buffalo's going to get the clear field? Does Pittsburgh got to play somewhere else? Oh, okay. So after hearing all of that, after seeing the people trying to drive into the stadium on Sunday, 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the whiteout. I know exactly what that is because I've lived that multiple years, and they was still talking about, it's just some snow. It ain't that crazy. Yeah, man, I figured today I was just going to be real chill because I was like, clearly Steelers Nation has a lot of, passion and emotion and just a lot of feelings that they are processing through right now. So I'm here to love and hug all the Steelers Nation. So whoever needs some therapy, whoever needs to just emotionally get through some stuff, y'all know I'm processing some stuff right now on top of stuff that I've already been processing. All right, so we're going to all be processing together. It's all good. But yeah, man, that was definitely, it was a lot of that took place. I was like, bro, how's the city soft just because Orchard Park is here, the stadium is here, and Buffalo is here. So because y'all can get to Buffalo, and this don't work, oh, that means y'all. I'm like, bro, what? And that's the conspiracy. It's a conspiracy, man.
Here's what I'll say.
Let me hear your conspiracy.
I don't have a conspiracy on it. It was in the back of my mind. It was in the back of my mind at times.
You don't think Mason benefited from playing in yesterday's game?
I made that take.
Then Sunday?
You got to hear me out.
My whole
you got to hear me out. Yeah, you got to hear me out. So I do think the governor and how that she handled everything was soft because she called out the Steeler fans. Okay. Stay home. You guys can't handle the weather. You don't want this smoke, all that. And then she ended up postponing the game due to weather. I thought that whole ordeal.
The timing was terrible. I would agree. But I don't think that they both were meant to be together. I think the initial jest was like, oh, hey, we might get some other ha-ha, tongue-in-cheek. And then it got serious. And now it's like, oh, shoot, I actually really had to come back. I thought that made it look terrible on her part. And that's part of why when you're in those positions, when you play them games, you just don't know how it's going to play out, right? Who was the mayor last year in Cincinnati that was talking crazy?
Right.
Yeah, you know how it go.
Right, so I thought that was pretty whack. I do think if we would have played Sunday at 1 o'clock, that does benefit the Steelers just making it a muddier game.
My
and all that.
only question is this, though. With that thought process, who ran the ball better yesterday, and who was the more physical team yesterday?
100%. Like I said, everything played out the opposite of how I thought. I thought the Steelers were going to be the better running team. I know the Bills have been running the ball better recently with James Cook. But maybe I'll talk about styles at least, or bring up the styles. The Najee Harris, Jalen Warren style versus James Cook would do better in the snow. Yeah. But no, you're right. Bills outran the Steelers yesterday. I wasn't expecting that. Not in that vein. Not how it happened.
So,
but then, all right. So I do think it would have played into the Steelers' favor. But I also had kind of the same energy that you just brought up. Like, I feel like it didn't really matter if we played on Sunday or Monday. It's like you got to beat the team that's in front of you. And all the stuff that would so-called benefit the Bills' offense or Josh Allen because it wouldn't be snowing, it wouldn't be as windy, should benefit our offense too. I said I think that gives Mason and our offense the opportunity to take some deep shots. Like, if anyone has watched Steeler football over these last 3 weeks, knows that we're more than capable of opening things up on offense. So we can do that.
One of my biggest critiques though in this game, bro, I love what you just said. I agree with it 100%. I felt like we waited a whole half to do that, though. I thought in the first half we were a lot more conservative. When they had 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, we would still run the ball versus us actually challenging their dudes on the perimeter. I felt like we waited to the second half to really go Deontay and GP. We were trying to go the Muth, Calvin Austin, and 13 personnel, and I'm just like, it's not the same. And then I think when Muth put that ball on the ground, it really kind of was like, all right, we going to try this or we not going to try this? But I thought in the second half when we really was like, yo, they can't guard our receivers. Let's challenge these dudes. That was when it really started to open up, both running game and passing game. But I thought in the first half, man, we were kind of just a little bit too conservative versus some of their 8-man box single coverage on the outside stuff.
Yeah, so a little conspiracy in the back of my mind heading in. Just the fact that I feel like if they really wanted to play the game, they could have played the game. If they really wanted to.
Oh, you talking about in Buffalo on Sunday?
On Sunday at 1.
Absolutely not, bro. Put it like this.
Play the game, though.
No. When I say
you don't think they could have physically played? I get not as many fans show up, but
not fans. Because think about this, right? We're thinking of it solely from the Steelers. You travel on the team bus after you fly to the hotel. You're there. I'm talking specifically about the players that play for Buffalo. That everybody is driving their individual cars into that whiteout, trying to get to the stadium. That's the part that nobody is remembering. When you're the home team, you're not riding on the bus. You driving from all over. Some people live in the city. Some people live in Buffalo. Some people live in Orchard Park. I told you when I was there, I lived in Elma. That was 20 minutes south of the city. So my commute is going to be drastically different than somebody that's living downtown Buffalo at the high rises coming in from that direction. So all of that still is in play. Okay. So that was my reason why I'm like, bro, when they showed what that thing looked like in Orchard Park at 1 o'clock.
Well, I guess, too, the Steelers didn't even take their flight yet either. Like, all those flights were canceled. Yeah.
Nah. That was my whole thing. I'm like, man, how are you getting there?
Yeah.
It like we talked about, man, playing there for 4 years, bro. It was plenty of times where they send you home because you can't see from me to this day going wall over there. You know what I mean? 10 feet in front of you. You're just like, bro, what is this? So when you're talking about driving now, that ain't no good situation. That's a safety hazard. One accident, one fender bender. Now the first responders there. It's like a chain reaction to it, man. So that's the big reason why. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, my energy, like my initial reaction whenever I first heard the news, it's moving to Monday, I was just like, all right, Steelers just got to beat the Bills on Monday. It's whatever.
Yeah, it's
right?
Monday, man.
That's how I felt. But then, I started thinking, I'm like, yeah, you know what? That governor kind of called us out. This is kind of some BS. And I was like, too, if they really wanted to play this game, I mean, NFL games have played in increment. You know what I mean? Started thinking like that. But my initial reaction was like, conditions are going to be a little bit lighter. That could benefit us just as much as it benefits the Bills. Like you still got to play good football either way. That was the overlying energy
I'm with it, though.
on
I'm with it.
The movement.
I said her whole issue when she made the initial joke, that was the part where it messed it up because when it got serious, it's hard to taunt the fan base and now try to say, oh, this is actually an emergency. Take this serious. Don't be in your feelings either. Let's all work together here. It just comes off bad. So it's like, I get it, man. Definitely get it. But yeah, in terms of the weather, I'm like, bro, you're not getting in and out of that city, man. Like you said, the team bus would have been straight. The police escort with the team would have been straight. The home team, man, you talking 60 plus players coaches just got to drive in that thing individual cars, man. It's just a lot, man. That's all.
What do you got next? You got any more?
Yes. Shout out to Red. Now, Red, unfortunately, Deke can't read these because you sent them in at 1:23 p.m. today. He really had to get this off his chest, all right? Okay. But he wanted...
He's calling out me.
Yeah, he was like, hey, Moats, please have Deke read this. And it simply says, 1, 2, 3, Cancun. Okay? So, yeah. That was what he wanted you to be on. And then he says, also, why is everyone scared that Mike T or Coach Tomlin might leave? We acting like when the Steelers hired him, he was for sure a Hall of Fame coach. We knew one day he would be gone. So how you feel about your Cancun situation, and then ultimately how you feel about this Coach T stuff, man?
I'm not going to Cancun. And I don't think anyone's scared about losing Coach T. And it depends on who you ask. I actually think a lot of people right now want Coach T gone. They would celebrate that if he was out here. Not me. I don't want him gone. I want him back. I think he's a good coach. I think he should, at the very least, play out the rest of his contract. I think 10-7 this year, considering all the circumstances and how things played out, up and down quarterback play, defensive injuries, was decent. I think it was something. I don't think it's anything to just sneeze at. I still think it should have been better. I think we could have still finished like 11-6, 12-5 potentially. But
so do you think we underachieved or overachieved or just right this season?
Underachieved.
Okay.
I underachieved a little bit. We made the playoffs. End of the day, that counts for something. I would have liked to win at least a playoff game, go on a little bit of a run. So it feels like we underachieved. But at the same time, I can appreciate the good things that took place as well.
No, respect.
But yeah, just how Coach T is. Being here as a Steelers head coach, we're always going to have a season at least 500 or above. I think that's something to appreciate. We need better playoff success though. End of the day, I'm not scared of losing, but I still think he's a good coach and shouldn't be just run out of town willy nilly.
Could dig it. To me, I think he overachieved this season with the group that he had, but that's just how I perceive the talent that we got here. I don't view it as high end in certain places as others league wise. So when I look at this team and what it had to endure with the talent for it to get to these 10 dubs and get in that postseason, that was why to me I was like, I thought he overachieved with this group specifically. Now, I think that he overachieved with this group, but I still feel like the playoff drought in terms of lack of wins also matters. But I think that they both can coexist, and that's the other part for right now. Not saying that you're accepting one or the other or saying that this is more okay than this is, but I think both of them matter, and I think both of them are significant in terms of when you're judging him off of this season, in terms of when you're judging him off of his tenure, because I think this season, postseason ending, is very different than the narrative that has been spread in terms of just his overarching playoff success in 16.
They're different teams.
I think they're two different things. But if your narrative is he doesn't win in the postseason, you lump it all together, subtract context, and now you have the story that you're looking for. I just think that there's a lot of context in this story, and that's why so many people have so many different opinions about him. Because, yes, he is a heck of a coach, and we've seen that. Statistically, he's already proven that he can win it all. He's won a Super Bowl. He's been in another Super Bowl, so we can't do that. But the part that we are specifically looking for is the postseason success, which we know league-wide, as you've seen, doesn't matter if you got 12 wins or 6 wins, right? That is the hardest time to win. And you're either trying to find a coach that, if he gets you there, can go all the way, or you're trying to find a coach that can at least get you into the conversation. Because I think that that's part of this stuff too, right? The Belichick situation, him being available, and it's like, all right, that's great. We know he's a great playoff coach, but what has happened since Brady has left in the regular seasons? You can't even get there because he's not winning enough here. But then you look at a Mike McCarthy who's destroying a regular season, 12 wins, but you're seeing him on the flip side struggle in the postseason. So you're like, okay, are 12 wins not good? Is 12 wins average? Is 12 wins mediocre? Or how do I find that guy that can get me into that postseason and actually win more? Do I risk maybe 3 to 4 wins, and that changes seeding, change the feel of this team. But does that make me feel like I have a better chance at winning? These are all the conversations that go around league wide. We just like to make it feel like it's just us in Pittsburgh. But these are legitimate conversations, man.
They're talking about firing Sirianni.
That's what I'm saying. And he was just in the Super Bowl last year, bro.
And I think
they were 10-1 to start this season out, man.
I think where it gets tough too, I'll just bring up the Steelers as an example here and yesterday's game. All right, we talk about Tomlin and his slow starts in playoff games, how we've been getting outscored. There's that stat. I think it was our last
21,
4 or 5 playoff games, we're getting outscored 66-0.
Yeah. Because it was like 20-something zip, 21-something at halftimes. Yeah,
that's bad. But in yesterday's game specifically, I'm like, you know what? Mason threw that pick and Pickens fumbled.
It's literally a 14-point game at halftime, bro. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's at least...
It's supposed to be 14-14 at halftime.
That's at least... it's a 10-point swing up to a 14-point swing.
Yeah,
those 2 plays right there.
And then not only
is that on Coach T? That's my thing. Now you want to talk about the defense and how they responded to those errors. Maybe you call that on Coach T, but is that the players and their own miscommunication? I don't know.
But I would also say
then
this,
you talk about Cowboys with McCarthy.
Yeah.
Is Dak just sucking in the playoffs? Like that's
because
the other
those
thing.
are legitimate conversations.
How much is it on McCarthy versus Dak folding in the playoffs as well?
And even with the shortcomings that we had defensively in the first half, I do feel like we made certain adjustments in the second half. But once again, our tackling was just awful. If you tackle bad in this league, man, it's gonna get you beat. You hear me? Missed tackles and mental errors. Mental errors and missed tackles will get you beat. Those are the 2 fastest ways to lose games in this league, man. And when you're doing both of them like we were doing, and then you sprinkle in that turnover thing, it's like, bro, that's the perfect way to get beat, man.
Tomlin's at the head of all of it, so
absolutely,
yeah, he gets blame,
and that's why it's like it matters. So I'm like, yes, he is, held to the fire with this, but at the same time, this still is some high level cooking. So it's like, it's the balance that we're trying to wear right now. I mean, shoot, right now you got 1 season left on the deal. So after that, man, shoot, the people that want him gone, man, hey, hopefully you get what you want. If he doesn't decide to come back this year, cool, you get what you want now.
Right.
We ain't got to beg people to want him or hope that he stays. It's like, nah, man, if they don't appreciate him, don't appreciate him. That's fine.
Well, I don't think Rooney takes Tomlin for granted. I think Tomlin...
he don't, yeah.
I think Tomlin will be back. That would be my bet. But here's what I was saying earlier today. I think it's the most common sense thing. Just let the rest of his contract play out, because then we'll get to see if yesterday was a step in the right direction for this young core,
or not,
or if it's just going to be more of the same and we're stuck in this circle.
Right, because this would be the opportunity to see if you think that this is your QB1 and he's actually played like QB1, not we're hoping or we're still waiting on it to develop. It's like,
I need to hear this from you.
What you mean? I already told you this, bro. Yeah.
No, I'm saying. So you want we obviously both want Mason back.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Is he getting the edge as QB1 going in this offseason?
In terms of this offseason, yeah. And then whoever we bring in, we can decide what level of competition that is. But to me, I'm running back like Mason's going to be in this conversation for QB1 this offseason.
I agree.
To me, I thought that he showed more than enough, not just with his arms. I thought with his leadership. I thought with his toughness. I thought his ability to handle adversity. Me and you talked off, Mike, and I said, man, one of the things that I hated was that we never saw him struggle. We never got a chance to see him have a turnover. We never got a chance to see him have to come back from a loss or anything negative throughout that 3-game winning streak. And to me, as bad as the pick was, I'm like, bro, this gives me a chance to see how you're going to respond.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a heck of a job responding. He did not clam up. I thought, in fact, he got more aggressive, more comfortable, and made some dope throws,
on
man. He's
third
extending plays on third down. I'm like, bro, that's the type of stuff that when we talk about QB1 or franchise QBs, what makes them unique is their ability to have those off-schedule plays, right? When it breaks down, what can you do to extend it? And we said multiple ways of going about extending plays. It doesn't have to be the Lamar Jackson type. It don't got to be the Josh Allen type. It doesn't have to be the Patrick Mahomes type or the Joe Burrow type. Everybody has their variation of what they do to make themselves, special at times. And to me, man, I thought that Mason definitely was showing a lot more of that last night. And he took some shots too, man. He definitely took some shots.
Did him nor our running game any favors yesterday.
Bad matchup is what they said.
Again, opposite of what I expected going in.
See, that was kind of
maybe not as much the pass rush. I thought we'd do better in the run game. But maybe you're right too.
I told you.
Whenever they packed the box, we should have opened it up more.
I thought that was a big part, and then I also thought that the nickel. Remember what I told you? 7, Taron Johnson.
Yeah.
Say, bro, if he's playing, that's gonna be the question. Can we out physical him? Can we make them have to take him off the field? We did not do a good enough job of that consistently. I thought the one drive we did, that was when we ended up throwing the pick.
And you know what? That pick, not a bad decision by Mason.
No,
you got Deontay on Khair Elam. Yeah, chuck it up. See who's the better playmaker between the two.
Literally, it was a difference of back hip versus front hip. If he throws it on the front hip, it's a touchdown. He throws it on the back hip, it's a pick.
And
game of inches, man.
What's sad about Khair Elam and how he played that game?
That was probably the best I've ever seen him play,
pick,
bro.
Well, here's the thing. The pick, it looked like he was surprised.
That's what I'm trying to tell you,
He didn't even try to pick that one. And the one he actually tried to pick went right through his hands.
Yeah,
the one where Pickens slipped.
We've talked about this, bro.
It's just sad.
And then you saw DJ cooking him, too. DJ, yeah. When we had that drive in the third quarter, we started marching, who did DJ get the deep end and go off on? It was like, yeah. The pick shocked everybody. It's like, dang.
It shocked Khair Elam.
He
did not try to pick that off.
Everybody was shocked by this play, bro.
It landed in his breadbasket. He's like, oh, wait, the ball's here.
Everybody was shocked. I'm like, bro, did I just... Gray look at me. He's like, Dad, I thought he won good. I said, yeah, hey, bro, hey. All right.
And then you saw the pick drop. He's like, that's what we're talking about.
And I'm like, see, all right. He's like, but Dad, it's a PBU. I'm like, son, that should have been a pick, okay? But yeah, it was definitely one of the ones, man. But I thought Taron Johnson, who is an all-pro, slot corner all-pro, is a new position. They've just added all-pro, but he is an all-pro. So it was like, I get it. But that was part of the thing I said, man, with him, remember, we was like, yo, he's kind of that in-between of a Mike Hilton, Arthur Milet, but can cover as well, which is a little bit more size on him. To me, that was also a little bit of a factor in this game, man. Because he was the one who forced the fumble on Pickens, man, in terms of when Pickens dropped it. That was him who hit the hit.
Bro.
Yeah.
I know the new catch rules and stuff. It probably was a fumble,
boy.
dude.
We can't keep going back and forth now. When we wanted to work for us, we hollering about it's a catch. When we don't want it to work for us, we like, nah, that was a drop. Come on, bro. We cannot be both ways,
I'm just
man.
saying, quick eye test. I was like,
it was
incomplete.
a catch fumble,
I was like, incomplete. They slowed it down. I'm like, okay, based off the new rules, I guess. Little football rule. Why did none of these go in our favor? Because they changed the rule to the Jesse James catch, and now we get screwed by it.
Ball security, man. I think it's pretty simple.
But hold on. How about this one? There was one in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was similar to that Pickens fumble.
Okay.
Bills tight end catches it across the middle.
He never has possession
Takes
of
the
it.
2 steps and then
ball,
knocks it out.
He never has possession.
He knocks the ball out of his own hands.
Listen, we can agree to disagree. We agree to disagree. That's kind of like when I've seen people say that Josh's touchdown was a fake slide.
I mean,
then I've seen the people. Then I saw the people say that Miles Jack shouldn't have been flagged for hitting him when he slid.
I'm one of those people.
I'm just like, bro, we could just agree to disagree, man.
I'm one of those people.
We just agree to disagree.
Yeah, there was some stuff I didn't like out there with the Zebras. But
how'd you feel about when Muth fumbled that ball? And the Bills linebacker had it recovered, cradled with grass to spare, and they said,
I have mixed emotions.
Oh, I was just
because
curious.
if the ball hit Moose helmet, the right call was made.
But no, it did not though. It did not. And
are we sure?
Yeah, we were sure, and even the referees even said that. Yeah.
Are we sure?
Yeah, the referees even said it, man.
I didn't really get a clear explanation on what was going on there.
Yeah, that makes two of us then, because I'm like, how are you saying that wasn't clear recovery? Because you clearly said it was a
right.
fumble.
I didn't know that's my problem.
Fumble.
I didn't know what they were reviewing.
No, they said they were reviewing the recovery. They said it was a fumble. They were reviewing did the Bills do have possession inbounds. Like, bro, are we serious?
But they weren't looking at the. They weren't looking at.
No, because he fumbled. No, and then it touched his helmet.
Are we sure?
We can agree to disagree.
I'm just saying, are we sure?
That's why I said we can agree to disagree. I'm very sure.
Trust me, I felt like we got blessed on that one. Yeah. I will admit that. Mm-hmm. That was my initial feeling. But if they saw that it hit Fryman's helmet when his body part was out of bounds.
You heard the referee say you can't even change that part of it either.
That was the weird part. I was like, what are we doing? Aren't we just trying to get the call right?
No, we're trying to literally see, did he recover it inbounds? Because that was never even a part of it until the commentator says, did it hit his helmet? And I'm like, bro, what are you watching to say that it hit his helmet?
But might have grazed it. It was looking like it.
Like I said, that's all well and good. That's what I said we disagree to disagree. That's why I don't put a lot of this into the refs when we start complaining back and forth, because as we said, it goes both ways, man.
It was a part of the story. Ultimately, again, we screwed ourselves too much. We screwed ourselves too much.
Because if that call goes the way that I thought it should have went, it's a 21-zip game, and they getting the ball again, about to score.
Yeah, that would have been bad. That would have been bad.
Yeah. Or excuse me, that would have put them up 21-zip, because that was actually the drive where we ended up throwing the pick in the end zone on that drive.
It would have been bad either way.
The momentum would have felt way different.
No matter what, it would have been bad.
Because that's a short field, another turnover after we just had the turnover, explosive plays. Yeah.
The cheap shot on JPJ later in the game.
We can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree, man. I was like, the cheap shot. Oh, all right. We can agree to disagree, man.
Knocked him out of the game. Knocked out CB1.
It was funny, man. Shout out to IT, because you remember IT. That was like, he said that's his OG, his uncle, right? You know, it's all that love and stuff, man. I remember when I got here, IT told me this. He was like, bro, whenever we tackling, we got a simple rule. Either get them down or get laid down. Because everybody is coming to that thing. Sometimes it's your teammates. Typically, it was friendly fire, like we said with Law Dog, popping him, breaking his arm. But it's like, yo, we run into this ball, and we trying to have gunshot sound. Get him down, or you might get laid down. I was just a little bit upset that I thought all night we never had that type of energy that the Bills had, bro. Every single time it was any type of scrum, every single time with somebody on the perimeter, they dudes haul in tail to get over there and get extra hits in and all type of stuff. We didn't have any of that energy, bro. That was my thing. I'm like, bro, we supposed to be the bullies. We did not look real bullyish. We did not look real physical-ish. We didn't look none of that, man.
I was thinking this.
And it was bad, too, because he got dropped, and then a couple plays later, they come back and drop A-Rob, too. I'm like, okay, they hitting tonight. Where we at? How we going to match this? We missing tackles.
I was thinking this. I wonder if some of our early defensive woes were due to the new players being inserted into the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
As sucky as it is to say, like, you always want Minka. You want your best players out there. But Minka, you know, he hasn't played in a minute. Casey, he hasn't played in a minute either. We had Pat P playing safety exclusive. Like, we had a little feel for these last 3 weeks. You saw him at
corner again.
And it wasn't good.
He said, we can point to refs, we can point to coaches.
But you're not
going to saw a certain...
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
If you're Coach T and you're setting up the defensive plan,
you're
not going to have Minka sit the bench in the first quarter.
You got to put him in.
You're not doing that.
You got to put him in. But
at the same time, I think it might have affected some things.
You don't think
I don't think some of those early miscommunications are coincidence.
Deke, you don't think it did? You got Pat P going from playing safety. Now he's playing that corner outside. I'm looking at him and Landon Roberts on the Dawson Knox touchdown. And literally, they don't know how they work together. E-Rob is trying to decide, okay, I'm going to show on the opposite side of the field, but I'm going to be sprinting over here to check out this running back who's offset to the boundary. Pat P just simply saying, bro, I got a dude that's offset fast to the flat right now. Ain't nobody guarding this. And then I got this dude screaming up the vertical on me too. It's no trust, but that comes from him being at safety these past couple weeks and seeing it very different when E-Rob was on the outside and now Pat P is on the inside. It's a different communication, a different vision of, all right, are you taking this back? Because if Landon Roberts is supposed to take the back like he was hauling tail to do, Pat P got to go right now. He has nothing to stay over here, and that's going to be on Landon Roberts to beat James Cook with a foot race to the pylon. I thought that if that was the case, though, I hated a Landon Roberts pre-snap disguise. We were trying to hide a blitz, and when you're trying to hide a blitz, sometimes you get exposed. With them having James Cook and that tight end to the side already over there, and the blitz coming from that way, E-Rob got to cheat over, man. He was never going to beat there. Like, you look at the play where Pat P is at, if they would have thrown it to the flat and Pat P was up high, Roberts can never make it over there. So Pat P trying to hold this so he can't throw it there is why nobody could get to that either, man. But that's that part where you're like the communication of it.
So is that on Tomlin?
So put it like this. I don't say Tomlin because technically this is TA because this is DC. But what I would say is it's more so on those two players having just a better plan. And that plan could simply be, bro, lock it. Or if I'm Aaron Curry, the linebackers coach, one of the things that Keith Butler would tell us when we play here under him was you don't want to jeopardize your coverage for your Hollywood. Meaning you're showing this and you're so hell-bent on the disguise that you put yourself in a bad position from coverage. It's like, bro, is the disguise worth it if you can't get to your coverage anyways? Nah, I'd much rather you get to your coverage and they know the blitz coming. And that was one of them plays for me when I'm looking at Landon Robinson. I'm just like, dang, dude, like, I see what you're trying to do, and it makes sense for this box part, but this pre-snap alignment is telling me information that, hey, this ain't worth that, man, because you're not going to beat that throw. And even if the blitz came through free, which it didn't, it's like, bro, you're never going to beat James Cook in a foot race when he has a 5-yard head start on you on top of that. And you only run into the pylon that's 10 yards away. So I thought of more of that. So it's like, yeah, could we say coaching? Sure. But at the same time, I'm looking at 2 veteran players, and I'm saying, bro, y'all 2 dudes know what the heck y'all are doing. Y'all need to communicate better on that situation. And for Landon, bro, you just got to know ahead of time, man, I can't show here if this the formation, because this is the one look that changes everything now, man, because you got that dude, man. And if you don't, that means you got to run to that tight end. So either way, the tight end is running away from you or that back is running away from you. You cannot be showing on the other side of that field, man. The center's right here. He's showing on this side of the center because Michael Walker's trying to blitz from like the B gap out. I'm like, bro, that's a lot of space, and you're not the fast linebacker either. I looked at that type of stuff. So it's like,
I made that nice play late in the game.
He did.
Yeah, it was really nice.
But better alignment. This time it was 3-by-1, so he's already on that side of the field next to the tight end. And even though Kincaid is winning, when the ball's in the air, if you just drive and play his hands and don't turn around and look, you could make up the space and make the play. And that's what he did, bro. Ain't no other way that he could guard that dude. We know that. But that's how you do it. Man, all right, you got the step, cool. When them eyes go up, you start getting excited, them hands come up, shoot the hands, bro. Shoot the hands. And that's what he did, man. But the alignment pre-snap was way better, so he gave himself a fighting chance.
Yeah.
If he would have been aligned on that the same way he was in the previous play, but at the touchdown. Yeah.
Breaking news.
Hope he's something good. I need some good energy.
In a team meeting today, Mike Tomlin told Steeler players the speculation about him stepping away is unfounded.
Let's go.
And he plans on coaching the team in 2024.
Let's go.
Tomlin, who's entering the final year of his contract, is expected to address the media later this week.
Let's go. Unfounded? Do you believe that?
Is it unfounded? So some of the reports came from reputable guys. I can't speak for Glazer much, but
they say that's
Schefter
his
was
man,
one
though.
of them.
They say Glazer is his man.
Well, there's that, but also one of the reports came from Adam Schefter. And I know the way you talk about Adam Schefter. He knows what you're thinking before you're thinking it.
Shefty is in bed with people that I'm just like, I don't know how. How did this happen? How did you get that access? Did you sell your soul to the devil? All right. Like when they talk Illuminati, I'm like, I don't know who is the Illuminati, but Shefty might work for them in some capacity. When I tell you Shefty told about JPP things getting blown up before JPB could talk about his things getting blown up, I'm like, bro, how do you have the actual hospital file? Like, this is the clipboard. If this is the emergency room when he's going to have surgery, he had the picture. I'm like, bro, how do you get that when this is freshly happening? It's not even a story all the way just yet. You got the actual hard copy. When I seen, I said, bro, that boy different, man. When I told my pack and my people hit me up to tell me my joint told before I even could. I'm like, how did I don't know how or what or He different though, bro. So yeah.
Were they unfounded? I don't know. There could be a chess game going on behind the scenes where I guess Tomlin's secretly leaking some of this stuff to get his contract extension with the Steelers bumped up quicker.
That could also be it, yeah.
Yeah, there could be a little game going on behind the scenes. I think, in my heart of hearts, Tomlin wants to still coach, and I think he wants to coach the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
So I don't know why some of these reports are coming out. Like I said, it could have to do with contract extension. It's just playing that game, the game within the game. But I think, end of day, what he wants to do in his day-to-day is coach the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah. So what should, like, the people that are, like, super pissed off and can't stand the fact that he's the coach this year, what should they do for all of this season then?
Up in 2024?
Yeah. Because, remember, they were probably, like, super rooting for him, like, to either step away, get fired, not get brought back. Like, what do we do now?
I think they got to bring out the signs, got to bring out the posters and stuff.
Got to go harder?
No, I think you try to make sure he doesn't get an extension this offseason.
Okay.
That's what you should be calling for.
Cause that's what I'm trying. Cause I know I'm probably sure it's a good amount of y'all in the comment section, the chat that
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be against an extension.
Yeah.
But it also wouldn't be it wouldn't be foolish to. Or what am I trying to say? It wouldn't be foolish. What was? Let's just say I think it would be wise as well.
Mm-hmm.
It could be another approach to just let the contract play out.
That's what I'm saying. We were talking for 20 because it didn't say longer than 20. He just said he's just back for next year, right? Just 2024.
Like if either of us are Rooney, I get that you like Tomlin, but I don't think it would be a bad idea to just put a little bit of pressure on Tomlin.
Yeah.
And just be like, let's just see. Let's just see how this year goes.
Yeah.
Because we talk about the playoff stuff. Like, that is real.
I'm with you,
We can appreciate Tomlin always getting his team in the mix year in, year out. We're at least going to have a 500 record. Always going to have a game that matters to the end of the season. But at the same time, like...
So who do you think could put more pressure on who, though? Mr. Rooney threatening the whole I won't extend you, or Coach T saying I'll walk away?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's what some of these reports are doing. I think there's a game within a game right now.
I'm like, him staying here walk away to me is a little bit more impactful than Mr. Rooney threatening to not extend him, because it's like, okay, you can replace me, do it.
Because
everybody says you could do it, just do it.
Right.
Prove it.
Because I do want to see Tomlin another year.
Right.
Like, for sure.
Yeah.
So if Tomlin does say, if you can't give me that extension where you lock me up for another 3 or 4, maybe I just call it before my contract ends.
Yeah. I would rather leave it on my terms than allow you the opportunity to have that last little ha-ha.
If it meant Tomlin's back for 2024, I would give him an extension. If that's what it took. Yeah, so you want to talk about leverage. Who has the upper hand right now?
Because to me, I'm like, I think Coach T has the leverage because he's already the proven commodity, whereas anything that we're talking about coming afterwards is still going to be based in speculation because we haven't seen this person come in here with this particular group and win 10 wins and get into a postseason. We haven't seen anybody come in here just yet since Coach T and do this thing that he's done for as long as he's did. So to an extent, that's why I think he has more leverage, because it's like, our biggest criticism is postseason success.
Maybe he doesn't have any leverage right now because he said he's coming back.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right on that, man. But that's what, like, let's see what the contract extension was, though, right? If it was an extension, like, how long was it and stuff? So, yeah.
Well, he still could get extended.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
he could still get extended.
Because I'm like, him saying him coming back, and now the conversation we're having now is about, do you extend? Do you not? Like, what would it just be for this season? And who would have the leverage in all of that? I'm like, I could see both parties trying to flex, like we were just talking with it, man. Because I could definitely see Mr. Rooney taking that approach of like, why would I reward you when you haven't given us the postseason success? And granted, that's the toughest part of being a coach in this league, but that's why those guys that do have that type of success get paid the way that they do, have the job security the way that they do, and are viewed the way that they're viewed. If you can accomplish what we consider to be the hardest feat as a professional athlete in terms of NFL player, it's like, if you can accomplish that, bro, yeah, you deserve the reward. You deserve a certain level of, leash. But at the same time, it isn't infinite. And I think that's kind of what we are with him right now. But all of that, I think, is at play, man. Because Coach T, we know he would still be a hot commodity if he were to leave. And we know, okay, we would be a hot commodity potentially in terms of somebody coming in here. But what level of that is the big question? And that's the whole debate. And why it's like, okay, it's not a fear thing, it's not an ego thing, it's not a we don't want him thing, it's not a he's not good enough thing. But when you're throwing in all of this commentary on him, this is, kind of where it gets to.
And Tomlin even admits it, too. There was that interview he did with someone from CBS where his playoff record recently was brought up, and he's like, don't put that on the players, put that on me, because these aren't the same players from those 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
I've been the constant here, and the playoffs just haven't been good enough.
Yeah. Like I said, that is literally the hardest part when you get to that postseason, because you don't get a do-over. You have to be perfect every single time. You got to have luck bounce your way every single time. Everything has to go your way, and it's not just 1 week. It has to keep repeating versus another team that is feeling just as lucky, just as good, believes in themselves just as much. So, yeah, man, like I said, I get it. But at the same time, we understand, too, once you've had a chance to taste it, which the fans here have, you get obsessed with it. And that's the part where he's like, yo, I like my fans fat and sassy, because it's like, yeah, he's been able to provide Steeler Nation with that feeling also. So it's like, yeah, we can't wait to get back to that feeling. But it's also to the point where we at times would do what some might deem as reckless, others might just seem as normal. Just depends on where you're looking at it. But, you know, what you're willing to do to potentially get that feeling again, that's the part that we kind of all navigate through. Where some people, it's a lot more aggressive, right? Fire a dude after one loss, it doesn't matter. Others are more lenient. Man, nah, man, keep him here forever. Some people are right in the middle of that thing. So, like I said, all of that kind of plays into it with the dude like him when you've had the success that he's had for as long as he's had, but then also when you're looking at the recency of specifically postseason, because we can't say regular season, because that's the difference with Belichick. It's like Belichick, Pete Carroll's like they've struggled regular season since some of their dudes have been and gone and stuff like that. Whereas for Coach T, that still has shown to be a constant with him. But the postseason specifically, for whatever reason, right? And it's been various reasons in each of these scenarios, but it's like, yo, that is what it is. And that's the part you got to acknowledge. That's the part that there is no sugarcoating around it. So, yeah.
I got two more things with this. One, I don't think Rooney's stupid. I think he can also understand what's been going on the last 2-3 years, us moving on from Ben. We don't really have our quarterback situation buttoned up, where he's like, you know what? I think Tomlin's actually done an admirable job working with what we got right now. And just to get into the playoffs, nothing to just sneeze at. Nothing to just be like, you know what? Yeah, I think we're just stuck in this purgatory. Yeah. In fact, we're going backwards. I think he's probably looking at a perspective of, we went 9-8 last year. We went 10-7 this year. Made it to the playoffs this year. I know we went one and done, but like, that's a stepping stone. And that's without us having a solid quarterback. And that's with us dealing a bunch of injuries on defense too, particularly this year. But then the other side of this too. What was I going to say? I might have lost it.
But
I had two things, but if you wanted to respond.
Well, I would just piggyback too, man.
What was the second thing I was going to say? No, go ahead.
Fair enough. But I love what you said about the quarterback part of it. We say it's two ways to win this league. You either got the unicorn.
I got it.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah.
No, go for it.
I was going to say you either got the unicorn at quarterback, or you have all the other pieces and your quarterback is good enough. Like, man, clearly we've been playing with good enough at quarterback to a certain degree. But it's like, that's been the big difference to me in these postseasons. You look at the past matches we had. Kansas City was a 2 seed, right? Am I tripping on that? Or were they actually not? What? No, they were the 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Mahomes and Kansas City.
That was a broken team too. Yeah. Ben's last year. There's very much a broken team.
And then obviously this year, like I said, you got Josh, 2 seed as well.
Like we felt like after that Ben year, like that was the end of that era in a way. Like it's time for this like rehaul and everything, because Ben's gone. Like, okay, there's so much uncertainty going into this future. What are we gonna look like? Is this gonna be a 6-11 season? But no, we ended up going 9-8. Almost make the playoffs. And then this year, second year of this whole rebuild without Ben, get to 10-7. Yeah. I still think we underachieved a little bit. I know we disagree a little bit on that, but I think we could have done better. But still, considering it all, making the playoffs, finishing the way that we did, that counts for something.
And I also feel like a big part of why we going to disagree about overachieving versus underachieving, I think stems from the quarterback. You've been a lot higher on Kenny just in terms of your optimism. I just kind of look at where he's at, and I'm saying, man, for us to be getting where we've gotten with his play, his development, and then with the coordinator situation, going from Canada to now you have Sullivan and Faulkner. Then you had to go Mitch for multiple games.
I think that's
then
the part.
Mason.
I think it's the Mitch part that makes me really feel like we underachieved.
Man, we went through a lot of adversity. We went through a lot of ups and downs, regardless of how we want to feel about it. I'm like, Mitch played bad at parts of the season. Kenny played bad at parts of the season. But at the end of the day, we still found a way with this group firing a coach for the first time in season since, like you said, 1941. A coordinator on top of that. We still found a way to get 10 wins out of this thing. When we were supposed to be dead in the water after getting egg on our face from the Cardinals and Patriots back to back. So that's my part where I'm just like, man, I think if we would have kept sliding, I'd have been like, yeah, I think we underachieved. But understanding all of that from my perspective, that's why I'm like, bro, we weren't even supposed to be in this conversation, man.
I think it's just that Mitch part of it that probably should have pulled the trigger on him earlier of getting him out of there.
But you know,
like even with Mitch, we still should have at least pulled off one of those games.
The unfortunate part is this, though, right? Hindsight 2020, we looking at Mason, we saying, oh, you should have pulled Mitch sooner. That also goes back to Kenny as well.
Depends.
So that's my whole thing. It's like
I still hold off faith if we have Kenny healthy for this last stretch. We're winning games. We're at least finishing 10-7, probably.
But remember,
11-6, 12-5 potentially.
We win games is one thing, but we're talking about the style of it.
I get it. It's the problem because we didn't get a full sample of Kenny without Matt Canada. Yeah. I thought things were looking up as an offense, but then we only get a game and a half of it.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and that's why I said we got to stick with Mason in the playoffs, and that's why I really appreciated what Mason did, is because we got to see it. There was no ifs, ands, or buts, or coulda, woulda, shoulda.
On the big stage, man.
Mason put together 4 really damn good games as our quarterback. No,
home, away, different time, like all type of
playoffs, like that.
Different flows of the game,
I still thought he played good in that Bills game. Yeah. No, the other part of this whole Tomlin Rooney stuff, I wonder if there's a little back and forth going on with the negotiations that has to do with who's going to be the next coordinator. Like, okay, all right. So Tomlin's saying I'll be back in 2024.
Yeah,
which means maybe Rooney's got to give him that extension.
Mm-hmm.
But with that extension, Rooney's like, I want bigger say, or like the final say in this coordinator and how this offense goes.
Yeah,
that's the give and the take.
That could be. Or what if it was Coach T over here just awesome, like, bro, I want you to break the bank on these guys.
I like that too.
And it's like, if you're not going to do that, then I'm not going to sign anything crazy long term. I
like that too.
I'm like, because we speculating right now, right? So we don't know which way it could go, but I think all of those needs can legitimately be at play, because what are the criticisms surrounding Coach T at times? We know posting success, but the next big thing is what? We talk about the coaching tree. Who are your coordinators? Why don't your coordinators constantly get picked at for head coaching opportunities like we see some of these other guys, that are more offensive minded? Right, where is your coaching tree at? So that could be a part of it where he's like, you know what, man, I want to be able to spend more on my staff. I want to be able to bring in coaches that should be head coaches elsewhere and have them as coordinators and position coaches on my staff, because clearly those be the staffs where you just like, all right, y'all got some dogs over there. So yeah, it can go that way. I like it though, man. I definitely like it.
I saw some reports being floated out in the chat. I'm trying to look them up on Twitter right now.
Uh-oh.
Someone said Jerry Dulac reported Kenny Pickett is QB1 for 2024. Like, locked in.
Well, regardless of if it's locked in or not, I think that maybe him, if that is the case, and everybody else a part of Steeler Nation might just learn from the handling of the Mason situation from Cincinnati to Seattle. All right? We don't want to just give out promises like that.
Okay, we got more on Tomlin here.
Mm-hmm. What you got?
From your boy, Jeremy Fowler.
Shout out to Jeremy Fowler.
Tomlin, who has a year left on the contract, has given no indications of wanting to step away in recent weeks. A source close to the situation told Fowler.
Okay.
So there you go. We got some.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Some conflicting reports out here.
Shout out to Jeremy. Hey.
Tomlin just wants to coach football.
Respect.
The source added that a contract extension could intensify this offseason. The talks for a contract extension could intensify.
Okay.
So there you go.
If we get the extension, I think that would give us even more clarity on, his thought process, the Rooney's thought process. And
PFT has reported the Steelers want Mike Tomlin back with an extension. Pro Football Talk.
So they want him back.
I'm trying to find this Pickett report here. Maybe I'll just read the next super chat and still try to search for it. But I'm actually with you. Bring back Mason, and he should be QB1 on the depth chart.
Like, period.
I'm sorry.
Beat him out. If you nicer than him, beat him out. But right now, he's shown me everything I'm looking for right now. Outside
have
of
it be a competition, but I think he should be QB1.
Yeah. I'm like, what
He's
else
looked
are we
like
looking
QB1 to me for these last 4 playoff games. And he actually got me getting pissed off at people saying, like, Steelers need to find this quarterback. We need a guy to compete with all these other guys in the AFC. What I saw was a guy that can do that. Like, did anyone not watch these games and see what Mason was capable of? He's just got to do that throughout the course of the season.
He's
got to do it throughout the course of the season.
I was like, do you think he could do it for 17 now?
I liked what I saw enough to say, give that dude a chance.
17
Give
games
that
a
dude
long time.
give
dude.
that dude an off season, knowing he's gonna be QB. Well,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to compete. You're just not gonna be given.
But
QB1.
see, this is
But
this
give
is
him
the
the edge.
problem, though.
Give him
Deke.
the edge as QB1.
Deke, this is the problem. Who has leverage right now?
Who? Between Kenny and Mason? Or
No, between
Steelers,
Mason, Steelers, and Kenny included. Who has leverage right now? You've said it yourself. You've been talking about it all day. You've explained perfectly who has leverage in this situation right now. Mm-hmm. Strike when the iron is hot. It's all about timing, baby.
Where else is Mason gonna get a chance to be QB1 though?
You saw him play. There are plenty of teams that need quarterbacks out here.
QB1.
You saw him play. Oh, so now
Give me a team.
So wait a minute.
Give me a team.
So wait a minute. So do you not believe that he could be QB1?
No,
now?
I think he can. I just don't know
Minnesota
how
Vikings.
teams around the
Minnesota
league
Vikings.
view him.
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, if they let go of Kirk Cousins, yeah, absolutely.
Kirk is a free agent. So is your free agent this offseason.
Yeah, if they don't re-sign him,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right.
But here's the thing: you got to draft too. That's the other part of it.
We gotta draft too.
But I think some teams value getting that quarterback on a rookie deal, having the talented guy come out of college, be their franchise guy, have the hype and all that.
So my question to you then, Deke, is Mason not good enough to be QB1? Is that what you're implying?
I'm not at all. I just don't know how other teams view him.
But you view him as QB1 though.
Yeah, I think he can.
And that was off of what you saw, right?
Yeah.
Because it was clear what you was watching. It looked really different than when we've talked Kenny Pickett at times. It wasn't what we hoping or what we think it can project to be, scaling it out. It was like, yo, we saw this physically.
He looked flat out good to me, to the point where I just said, a Kenny guy, I said I want Mason back and I want him to be QB1 heading into the offseason.
And this is my thing. I saw
Still make it a competition
This is
between
my
the two.
thing. I saw the same stuff that you was watching, bro. It looked good. It looked confident. It showed up in big moments, and it showed that they can handle adversity, man. It's a lot of teams out here that struggle at quarterback. Heck, it's a lot of teams that struggle with their backup quarterback, as we saw, too.
All right, so here's my point. Hear me out on this.
I'm listening.
Mm-hmm. Tennessee. Is Mason Rudolph better than Levis?
You don't think that they would at least entertain it?
No, because I just think
What's the difference
they
right
only
now?
got 1 year Levis. They put a second-round pick into him.
How much was Mason going to cost?
So you're saying
you spend more drafting a quarterback than you went spending on Mason right now.
So
on
you're
1 year.
saying teams are going to bring in Mason as
I just think
competition for QB1.
I think of it like this: Jacoby Brissett, right? Dudes like him. Now, granted, not to the same extent, but I think of the timing of it and what he was able to do for 4 games, including a playoff game. I do feel like teams, specifically when you're talking quarterback, left tackle, pass rush, corner, we know them the spots, man. And he showed that he can be a really good player. Granted, it was a small sample size, 4 games, but I do feel like when we're comparing what he did to some of these other guys that really rose up and got talked about and gotten opportunities multiple times, I'm like, this was way more impressive than what them dudes were doing, because he was doing it in these playoff situations in terms of must-win games and then actually taking us into the playoffs and looking good.
All right, Titans, Levis, Colts, they're getting Richardson back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll stick with Richardson.
Yeah.
Even though
They had Garner Minshew on the roster for a while, though.
even though, like, right now,
Mhm.
Mason Rudolph versus Richardson, I think there could be an argument for Rudolph over Richardson.
This is
better
my thing.
quarterback.
This
But
is my thing. The
Rudolph
contract,
older,
the contract that
Richardson-
Mitch Trubisky got, right? It's if you're the starter, great, but if you're the backup, it doesn't kill us. That's the contract that Mason is gonna probably be getting around, or even maybe a little bit more than that, potentially. You can get that with Anthony Richardson in Indianapolis, and you're still like, okay, I got this dynamic dude here, but if he goes down like he just missed all of this year, yeah, you the starter now.
All right, these are two that I think go
I thought
to your
AZ,
point.
but I ain't like the fact that they showing a lot of support in Kyler right now.
Kyler's
They
the
showing
guy.
too much support in Kyler.
Yeah. Now, here are two that go to your point, Raiders and Broncos.
Yeah. Raiders, I could definitely see. And depending on their cap situation,
where
depending on how they
Commanders
might want to
drafting?
move out,
They're probably going to take a quarterback, right?
you would think.
Giants,
They still got Daniel Jones,
they should cut him.
but you can't. You just paid him. Jets,
Bears.
though. What about your Jet situation?
No, I mean Rodgers.
Oh, shoot, you're right. Yeah.
Bears are going to take Caleb Williams.
Rodgers coming back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was about to try to come back this year. He definitely be back. Never mind.
Panthers.
Now they have
Bryce Young, overall. Even though, argument, Mason over
Same
Bryce
kind.
right now, right? But they got too much invested. I don't think they're going to move off him after a year.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the same conversation as Anthony Richardson.
Tampa Bay, because Baker's about to leave and get paid.
Oh, you think he's leaving?
You think they're going to pay him?
Well, either way, that takes away a team then. If let's say Baker leaves and goes to the Broncos
Okay,
or
fair enough. I
Raiders.
see what you mean. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
So it'd be 1-for-1 swap. Sure.
Yeah, let's just say Tampa Bay, Baker's
Yeah.
coming back then for sake of argument.
Miami, you're straight. You got Tua down there.
They aren't straight, but yeah, I guess they'll
He
stick
just
with him.
led the league in passing, bro.
They're not straight. No, I mean, you witnessed the exact thing I've been talking about with these quarterbacks take place in the wild card.
They said it was a bad
Tua,
matchup, bro.
Dak Prescott. And if Kirk Cousins was in the playoffs, we would have seen the same thing.
Tua just had a bad matchup, bro.
No.
It's just bad matchup, bro. Yeah.
Easiest money I've ever made. I put Chiefs minus 4.5. I also did Rams. I also backed that pick. Rams plus 3. $120 there.
Hey, you cooked this week. Literally, you only lost one pick.
What do you mean? Now you wanted to pick that one. Cardinals, Rams, 49ers, Seahawks.
Jared, PS4 Life. Definitely appreciate you as always.
I'll go down with that pick then. I picked Steelers plus 10. We still don't know what your pick was, though. That's
the record reflected it. I think actually people called me out at the end of it. It was like, yo, we heard you when the show ended. You not slick. We definitely heard you what you said.
I know what I heard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's you're saying it's on tape.
Yeah. The tape might be a little hot. They checked the tape. Yeah.
So there's probably, I'd say, like, what, 3 or 4 teams here then? Maybe 2 or 3. No. 2, 3, 4 teams that.
Just to make it interesting in terms of a conversation.
That I don't think they would give him QB1. It would be like us. I think it would still be a competition. But that's probably his ceiling heading into 2024. You get an actual competition for QB1. Now the question is, who does Mason trust more? Us or another team? That he's going to get a fair shot. I could understand if he just doesn't trust us. I would understand that.
Deke, you know what? I think that I could go on a limb with you, and I could also agree if Mason were to just show a little bit of hesitancy about trusting the Steelers to be in his best interest. I could definitely understand that. I could. But the thing that I was kind of pointing to is this, though, man. All he needs is just one of them other teams. Yeah, one of those other teams to show true interest, and now this becomes a little bit of a bidding war. So, yeah, we might start at, all right, we're trying to give you 6. We're trying to give you 7. But that team might say, we're trying to give you 10. Because 10, it still doesn't kill anything. But if you win out, you're not going to feel like you underpaid either, tripping by mid-season. So I just think...
You think 10's his max either way?
I do.
And then let's just say it's all equal. We offer 10, another team offers 10. What are you doing if you're Mace?
Where's the location of this other team? Is it warm weather? Is it sunny?
I don't know.
Is it Cali, East Coast, West Coast? Where we at?
It's one of those teams we named. I mean, I don't think you're feeling amazing about any. Raiders,
it's like Vegas,
Broncos.
You go to Vegas. Mason in Vegas would be fire.
Titans,
Tennessee, yeah. You get a little country. You get a little country action. Yeah.
Let's say one of those teams.
He's from South Carolina. He's from the
You know
South.
what name I didn't mention? Falcons.
Oh, yeah. You saw they interview Belichick?
Yeah.
It's crazy they got to interview that man. It's like, bro, we really got to interview him? Like, just, if you want Belichick, I think that's the guy you offer, right?
What's the deal with the Cowboys? What do you think they're doing?
It's interesting. Honestly, I think they're in a similar situation to the Steelers. Because you're trying to figure out, we feel like we're very close. I think for them, they're further along because their players are more established. Dak, CeeDee Lamb, Parsons as a company. And those dudes are literally coming up for contracts this all season. But, yeah, they're trying to decide which one is better. Blow it all up, and does that get us back faster?
Trey Lance season.
You know what I'm saying? Or do you try to just nip, tuck 1 or 2 pieces here, adjustment here, and now run it back with this group? But when you win in 12 games, 3 seasons in a row, clearly you feel great about something. But when you throw the lack of posting success with the expectations, and you got Jerry Jones, who is also a little bit up there in years, I just think that's a very toxic and very unhealthy pressurized situation over there, man. Yeah.
I was just going to say, if you're Belichick, would you consider the Cowboys if it opened up? That's why I brought them up.
I was leaning more with Vrabel personally.
For the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was cool with Vrabel coming in because you need a football guy, tough guy. Somebody that could tell Jerry, shut the heck up, man. Let me football.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just don't think Belichick has that fastball anymore? He's too old?
I just don't think he might have the desire to deal with the nonsense, man. Like, that's a different world with Jerry, man.
The smart thing about going to the Falcons would be weak division.
Mm-hmm.
Very weak division.
Mm-hmm.
They got pieces. You just got to figure out your quarterback.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I do feel like Dallas's team is far more equipped for Belichick to come in and have success right now than Atlanta.
Yeah, I think Dallas would be the splashier play.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, and that would... Yeah, what would be easiest to get his win record over? Sure.
Way easier at Dallas, bro.
But weak division, NFC South.
Yeah.
More noise with Dallas if you want that at this stage of your career. You want to maybe feel a little younger again.
If you're saying you're going all in though, that's
an
an all in move.
Yeah,
that's definitely an all in move. Could you see us ever doing that?
Going for Belichick?
Yeah.
If we got rid of Tomlin, he would have been on my short list for coaches to hire. It would have been Harbaugh, Vrabel, and Belichick. Those would have been my top three.
Yeah. And they said Harbaugh took the interview out in L.A. with the Chargers.
Order probably would be Vrabel 1, Harbaugh 2, Belichick 3. That's probably how I would have done it.
Yeah.
But Tomlin's back.
Hey, let's go.
So I'm not worried about it.
We got ours.
I'm happy we figured this out now because legitimately, if the reports were true that Tomlin was thinking about stepping away a year before his contract ended, I mean, we want to figure that out right now because of all these hot coaching commodities out there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
So thanks to Tomlin for clearing that up.
The man of the people.
Yeah.
Just little things,
All right. Back to the super chat.
Did
else
we
we're missing here?
I don't even know what part of the supers we was even on.
I don't know. We were just talking ball.
It'd be like, Steelers Media, I think we had it. Bro, is that really the first super that we got on? That's crazy.
Steelers Media running.
It is what it is, though.
Is the next one Nanzita?
Hold on.
I got Nanzita.
No. Did we get Rico from the 4? Did you read him yet?
I don't know.
If we bring Cam back?
No, I don't think I had that one.
Okay, so
when did that come in?
That was right at the beginning, like 4:03. So Rico from the 4, he says if we bring Cam back and he decides to give it another go, this will be our last with this core group of guys. We have to go all in and say F those picks. So he's saying if we're bringing Cam Hayward back and Cam is saying that this is going to be his last go for a ring, we need to go all in and trade some of these draft picks and be aggressive in terms of getting whatever person. I think if it's quarterback or whatever position he's targeting, he's saying we need to be aggressive and go all in because right now this is going to be the last chance we're going to have.
I'm fine with going all in. I don't think it necessarily is our last chance or it has anything to do with Cam.
You want to do it for Cam? Like the bus. I think he's trying to say
no,
how Jerome Bettis.
I think we're just doing it for ourselves to try to win football games.
But we did it for the bus. So he's like, do it for Cam. You don't like Cam like the bus? That's what it sounds like.
No, I think Cam is...
Rico from the 4,
the
he
2024
said Cam,
version of the bus.
He said Cam is not the bus. That's what he said. You saw the energy. If it was the bus, he was like, yeah, win one for the bus.
I don't remember us going all in and trading all these picks, though, for 2005.
We didn't have to. We had Ben Roethlisberger, and Ben said, we're going to win one for you. That was the trade. You didn't have to do it. Right now, he's saying we don't have that, so maybe if that's the approach, that's what he's saying. Mm-hmm.
It all depends on who we're getting and how much of the future we leverage. What are we doing at quarterback? Mm-hmm. Like, all those things are at play. I'm not opposed to trading a pick or two and getting a more proven guy in here, especially if you get someone in their prime.
Yeah.
Like the Bears did, the Jalen Johnson guy. He's going to be a free agent.
Yeah.
Then I'm hearing he's going to go back with the Bears. We missed that window.
Weird. Yeah.
I really wish we would have made that trade. We were interested in him.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
All right, and then
I mean, I'm not opposed. I don't know. I'm not opposed to trading some picks and trying to get more shirt up for 2024. But I still think we got a young core. I don't think this is like a last
Deke
ride
just
situation.
Said we don't have to do it for Cam. He's just real specific. It's not a last ride for Cam. If Cam is on the bus, great. But he said it ain't got to be Cam's party. That's what he said. Dang, if only Cam was the bus. I got you, man.
The problem is, I don't think Cam, when's
Don't
he
do that.
been-
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Just chill, bro. It's all
Okay.
good. It's all good, bro.
Because there was a
I
whole
know,
story
I know.
with
Yeah,
Ben's
yeah.
rookie year. We get to the AFC
Yeah,
Championship.
man.
Bus was thinking about retiring.
Mm-hmm.
You get so close.
Mm-hmm.
Ben's like, come back. We're going to win this.
Yeah.
We're getting to the next
one
game.
more for you, man. Yeah, bus stops here.
It doesn't hit the same. The story don't hit the same. I'm sorry.
You are sick, bro. Stop. Just leave it. It was cool. We liked the correlation. Bam. All right.
Bettis, a little bit more of a high-profile player. I'm
see,
just going to
that-
be straight up.
now
Offensive player, running back
You're
in the
going
90s.
too far. You're going in these.
sorry.
It's just too much.
Cam
variables.
Hayward, interior defensive
Stop
lineman.
the
It just
variables.
don't hit
You're
the
giving
same.
too much information. Just stop it. All right, just stop it.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. He said, when you score touchdowns, it hits way better.
Yeah,
All
near
right?
the bus in the
Yeah.
90s for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, everybody rides the bus in the 90s. And it's Jerome Bettis in the 90s. Yeah. Wait till you get a load of me. Come on, man.
Nanzito, are we there yet?
One more prior to that.
Okay.
Michael Brooks, shout out to you. And he says, here we go, Steelers. Here we go. Oh. Hashtag Steeler Gang 100. Respect to you on that one, Michael. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Nanzito, since we now completed this cycle of our team's journey, that means this next season certainly is the 11-6 or 12-5 record and a playoff win, right?
Bro, I
Another
hope
step
so.
in the right direction.
Sheesh. The way that they've been improving, that should be what's next. I know that's my expectation. I'm like, okay, you told me my coach is coming back. All right. Next up, I'm trying to see, is Mason back? Okay. Because that's going to already set a certain floor for our expectations. Because if they're telling me Mason is back with Coach T already being back in this core group, you're either telling me that Kenny is going to find a way to beat him out, which means that we're going to be even better at quarterback, or Mason's going to keep playing like how he just played, and we still going to be really, really good at quarterback. So either way, I feel good one way or the other.
I'm
I just
good.
need to know that part now.
I'm good
That's
with
what I'm waiting
the
on.
Kenny Mason scenario at quarterback. I know a lot of people probably around the league would look at that and laugh at it.
And that's fine.
Yeah, which is fine, but I know what I got to see from Mason.
Yep.
So if Kenny does legitimately beat him out, we should be feeling great about Kenny going into
That's what I'm saying.
2024.
One way or the other, it's a win, man. I needed to know that my coach was going to be back. I got that part square. So I feel great already. But now this is the next part. It's like, what is my quarterback situation? Because that's going to obviously have a big impact. If it's no Mason and we're just like, yo, we just got Kenny right now and it's harder for agency, we like, bro, all right, we either going to get one of these dudes to bring in here to compete or push or be ahead of, or we looking at a little bit more aggressiveness in this draft if Mason is not up here. But we'll know that information prior to, because like I said, he'll be an unrestricted free agent.
Do we have any first rights? Is there some type of waiting
You can
period?
tag him, franchise tag, transition tag, but those come
We're not
with
franchising.
All right, transition tag gonna come with its own price tag as well, and that would allow him to negotiate with other teams without it having the same ramifications. Whereas with franchise tag, he's not allowed to talk to other teams. Period.
Transition tag, we could match. Is it something like that?
Yeah, like what we did with Jason Rose. We transition tagged him. He got, I think it was like the $9 million for that season. He got a chance to talk to other teams. And then from there, low-key, I feel like we did the transition tag 2 times with Rose.
Okay.
Because they didn't want to franchise tag him. Because obviously the franchise tag is like the big one. But you could do the transition tag. So that gives you a little bit. But outside of that, you don't really have a lot of leverage with Mason because he's an unrestricted free agent.
Google East. On the bright side, we are 9-8 and 10-7 after losing Hall of Fame quarterback. Address needs in free agency and draft talent in April. He says, hashtag go Chiefs and go Texans.
All right. Respect. Yeah. When you put it in that way, though, right? 9-8 and 10-7. After having the Hall of Fame quarterback back-to-back seasons, you've already improved. So that is a tangible thing, too, that we're talking about.
Well, the funny thing is, too, you look at some of these other teams around the league. I don't want to settle for where we're at either and just be like, oh, we lost in the playoffs.
We're not.
But, you know, we're 10-7. You look at other teams like the Browns. They made the wild card. They got bounced first round. People are talking glowingly about Kevin Stefanski, right? He should win Coach of the Year. They're in the same exact situation as us. What other teams?
It is
Miami,
funny how that works, though,
Tua.
bro. That is funny how that works.
They're not thinking about getting rid of McDaniel. They're
love
talking
it.
about the quarterback. Like,
Yeah, they like, bro,
should we
it's
upgrade
Tua.
him?
They say it's Tua.
So, yeah, I don't think we're that far off.
That is kind of funny when you break it down like that, though, right? You're right. Mike McDaniel, they talk Tua over him. But,
Which they should.
okay, fair enough. But has either one of them accomplished what Coach T has accomplished in this league?
No.
But then again, it's the recency part. So but they recently ain't win one either. That's my other part. Like,
No.
back to back recently, McDaniels then got knocked out in the first round. Regardless if you had your main
Tomlin
quarterback
just
and
has
Tua.
more history here,
Yeah.
like because we're gonna bring stuff up with Tomlin
Yeah.
from 6-7 years ago,
Of course.
and I get it. I mean, rightfully
It's
so.
valid. It's valid.
Rightfully so.
It's valid.
Jonathan Steve, because the fans, the media, we're so close to it. We do remember all this.
Absolutely. And it goes hand in hand with tenure. When you've been here this long, we're going to remember your greatest highs. We're also going to remember your lows as well, man. And it just so happens that right now, one of his lows keeps feeling like it's constantly brought up. It doesn't get to just disappear. It's like, oh, another year of it. Hey, guys, don't forget, as much as y'all love this dude, remember, he still has this thing. And it's like, all right, yes, we do agree. That is very significant. Yes, we all would agree. We want this to be wiped away. But at the same time, the way that they weight that versus, like you talked about league-wide, how that's viewed at the same place is very different. Now, part of that is because of what we created here. And that is also at play. So it's like, I get all of these feelings. I get all the thought process with it. And that's why it's such a unique topic whenever we talk about it, man.
Yeah, does he have to make changes? Does he have to tinker around with some stuff? Sure. Because did you hear that comment with Najee Harris?
I did, yeah.
Some in-house rules?
Yeah.
He said it's not about coaching, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
He's talking about the disciplinary part.
What does that mean?
So think about it like this. You remember, actually, I don't know if we had it on up here, but just in the sense of this, man, when we were talking about had Coach Tomlin lost the locker room, we said it was more so with the younger guys, right? How they would act, how they would, display their energy, whether it was positively or negatively, what they might say commentary-wise, right? And we're just like, man, it's getting to the point where it's like, yo, you do got to run this like college. Like, you got to micromanage these dudes. You got to babysit these dudes. And we were like, bro, Coach T ain't on that. These are professionals. You're getting paid millions of dollars. If you can't show up, do your job, study like a professional, act like an adult when you're away from this facility, bro, I don't want you. I got the wrong people. But that's what you deal with in college because these are kids, 18, 19. You like, bro, all right, yeah, you got a ton of success. You got a ton of, spotlight around you, but you're a kid. Your brain isn't developed. You don't even know how to process these feelings. Like, let me help you. I know I'm going to have to work with it. One of the big reasons why a lot of dudes that coach at the pro level don't want to deal with some of that college stuff because it's like, bro, recruiting and these kids, they feelings is just, you can't talk to them the same as you might a professional.
Yeah.
Professional, shut the F up. Go do your job. I'm paying you how much money, bro? I don't care about how you feel. College kids, you can't talk to no college kid like that. He's going to shut down on you. And we even see that with some of the young dudes in this league. They get talked to a little bit and it's like, oh, he had his feelings now. Oh, Lord, he done deleted all his social media stuff now. Oh, here we go. Now we're going through the circle again. So I do think that, when you're talking about some of that stuff, man, it has a little bit of an impact, man.
So Najee said it's not coaching, but you're kind of saying it is coaching because the coaching sets the culture.
Think of like this. It is, but it isn't. What he's saying is this, man. It shouldn't have to be.
No.
But he's saying that, bro, this is what it looks like from his perspective it needs to be because his perspective is what? He came from Nick Saban, college, disciplinarian, right?
And he did almost bring that up. He's like, where I come from,
right.
and then he stopped short.
So it's like, we get it. That worked. That was how y'all ran it. And those type of players had the right mindset. But let's be real. Alabama players, to me, I equate to veterans in the league because they know how to practice. They know how to study tape. They know how to not get in trouble in the offseason, right? They typically do everything right consistently. And that's one of the reasons why they're consistently at the top, right? With Coach T's team, when he has his vet teams like he's historically had up until lately, that's how he's run them. Because he's like, bro, I don't need to spend a ton of time worrying about rules and discipline and how do you need to handle this and that because that's taken away from my preparation. That's taken away from me watching extra film to let you know, hey, the Bills like to run wheel routes out the backfield with James Cook. Hey, we like to run Tampa 2, but Alandon Roberts. Nah, not Alandon. Miles Jack. When we run Tampa 2, just know it's going to part like the Red Sea. And if that tight end is in the core running up the seam, you got to carry that, man. And it's going to be a heck of a matchup. But if I'm worried about, hey, bro, when we get to this hotel, y'all make sure I stay in the hotel, all right? We got curfew at 10 o'clock. Please be back in your room by 10 o'clock, man, all right? Because if you're not back in your room, now I got to do something. I got to discipline you, okay? So can y'all please back in your room at 10 o'clock? You don't want to do that? Coaches will do that, though. That's college, man. Are you in your room? Let me come walk in the closet. Let me check your door. Look under your bed. It's like, bro, I'm an adult, man. If you can't trust me to be professional on a work trip, this ain't no vacation. It's a work trip. If I can't trust you to do your job in them scenarios, bro, what are we talking about? But that is kind of how I took the whole Najee thing. So it's like, yeah.
Players policing themselves then? Is that what he's pointing to?
To me, yes. But if the players won't do it, he's also saying if they won't do it, then that's when you got to step in. And that's, like I said, how I took the thing. And they do go hand in hand. And like I said, I was here also when Coach Tomlin did take that approach. It sucks, but he is very much capable of it. But I also feel like whenever you lose the way that this, they lost in the postseason, and now it's final and everything is intensified, any comment like that is going to get amplified. And that's my part. I'm like, bro, where was this 3 weeks ago? So the discipline was fine these past 3 games, right?
Yeah, it wasn't brought up for those 3 games. I will say this with Najee. He has hinted towards stuff going on behind the scenes that no one knows about.
At numerous points throughout the season, but usually after losses. When we went on that 3-game spin.
I think wasn't the one after we won one? He's like, hey, how's this going to be sustainable or something like that?
Oh, man, it might have been early on. I'm talking.
It might have been after a loss.
Yeah,
I can't remember. He said something about I don't know how this winning's sustainable.
Yeah, but
how we are.
I know you're talking about early on in the season. I do remember that.
I can't remember if it was after a win or a loss, but
you're right. It might have been Baltimore, bro.
Who knows?
Yeah, I knew he's talking about though. But that's one of them things. I'm just kind of like, I get it. I definitely get it. But I'm like, bro, I didn't hear any of this these past couple of games. That's my only thing. So it's like, y'all lost. Everybody's kind of in the heat of the moment. So you say what you think, you feel. And I get that. I'm just saying to myself, it's like, bro, is it as bad as we about to make it sound like? Because if that was the case, why didn't we hear this at any point in time these 3 weeks prior to this one?
Probably not. But maybe it's something for Tomlin to consider for the upcoming
I would agree.
season.
And I think that now that it's the offseason, he's going to get a chance to really sit back and process, okay, what can I do better to prepare my guys? What can I do better to make these dudes their best selves, to make them more intrigued, more motivated, more focused in, to understand the urgency that comes in training camp versus regular season versus December regular season versus playoffs, because those all have different feels in terms of the speed, the intensity, and the stakes. So it's like, man, I think he's going to reassess all of that type of stuff. And yeah, when you have a team that is as young as they are right now, that's one of the things that you've heard me criticize it as well. It's like, all right, maybe this is one of the things that you got to really just go back into the lab on. But I don't feel like it was as crazy as that part of the statement is getting blown out too, because I'm like, bro, we literally did not hear this the week before that, or the week prior to that either, man. But I do remember what you said from earlier in the season.
He has hinted towards.
He said
this.
earlier in the season.
I think maybe that finally the season's over. He just wanted to get that off. It's almost like Pickens, just blaming the refs. I don't got to see you anymore.
Man,
let me just get what I got to say.
You know how the cause and effect goes. The one thing, but it's like with Pickens, he dropped it on the refs. Nas, you drop him like, bro, this is gonna come back here. Those are two very different drop off.
Everyone can get behind Pickens against the refs. You're just gonna get fined for that one.
Yeah, they're gonna fine you, but yeah, this one is like, all right, Naj, now you about to start a civil war again. Now they about to be over here. I told you he doesn't have discipline. He's not no leader. He's no Bill Cowher. You know how that go.
Jonathan Stevens, Tomlin will be in the Hall of Fame. All great eras and Belichick, Carroll, Vrabel are perfect examples. We're putting Vrabel in the greats category. It's time. No progress over 6 years. Unacceptable.
What is unacceptable at times is, just having difference of opinions.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is what we talked about. If you could look at the last 6 years or even the last 2-3 years and just say we're in purgatory, or you could look and say, okay, maybe this is the building block of the new era. This is the second season without Ben, this and this happened. It all depends on how you look at it. That's why I want Tomlin for another year, because we'll get more of the story and what's taking place. Because if it's the same thing, we go 9-8 or whatever, we barely miss the playoffs,
I think that's a very different conversation
get bounced
now.
in the wild card, then I think that's even more legitimate. I think the conversation should even be more serious.
I would agree, 100%, man.
As of right now, I don't know, man. I mean, you got to give the dude credit for finishing 3-0 and getting in the playoffs 10-7.
No, Jonathan Stevens said that was no progress.
And I was going to say this about yesterday's game. This one felt different. because of how we battled back.
Trust
We
me.
got it within one score. We were legitimately in that game.
You know we're on the same page with it, bro. We're on
We
the
just
same
did
page.
stupid shit, and
We're on the same page, man.
that's how high stakes the playoffs are. You can't do that stupid shit. And the
Mm-hmm.
Bills did. You're right. Like, maybe they learned from their mistakes in the past. Or Josh Allen was like, you know what? I've done all this stupid stuff in the regular season. I really got to lock in now.
Yeah.
And it happened. And this one game, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go off his track record this season, I was not expecting him to be this clean. But he was.
His stats show you that he's not this clean.
But that's the
Stats show you this,
NFL.
yeah.
I mean, that's why we watch these games. You don't know what's going to happen. You predict.
It's literally
you can
week
be
to
like,
week, man. Yeah.
yeah, I feel like it's going to go this way, that way. But these are live games. They play out right in front of our very eyes.
And when you talk about these dudes in terms of how talented they are now, it's like, man, any of these guys are capable of having games. Any of these dudes are capable of putting a perfect one together, man. But it's just like we're hoping and banking on who can do it more consistently than not. But yeah, man, all these games are almost like a crapshoot, bro.
Steven 29. I'm sorry, but look around the AFC. Jackson, Stroud, Allen, Mahomes. We have to stop lying to ourselves. We need a quarterback. We need to draft one. Hashtag go Chiefs.
Hey, I like how we said that like that was something different. We've been talking about that all season. We've been talking about it all show today, man. We said you either have the elite guy quarterback or you have everything else and you hope that your quarterback is good enough. We said that yesterday we played like he was good enough, but the problem was we had too many self-inflicted issues. But the model was showing that it could work.
Bro, if
It showed clearly that it
if
could work.
Mason throws that a little bit more outside, that's 3 touchdowns.
It's not.
That's-
It's not if he could have. That's the difference in accuracy. That's kind of like when we talk Kenny Pickett or even Mitch. It's like it's not a bad throw. If you talk about the casual college quarterback, they would struggle to make them throws consistently, right? But that's the difference of left hip versus right hip is the difference of a touchdown versus an interception. That's the NFL. College, that's a touchdown every single time where you threw that ball at, man.
I guess
That's
what
different,
I guess what I'm saying is, and he even acknowledged that after. It's like, yeah, I just need to throw
I
it
gotta
more
put it
outside.
outside.
And I think, based off what I've seen from Mason and his
Yeah.
arm talent, he's very capable. He just threw it a little inside.
That's
It
it.
happens.
It happens, bro.
It happens on a play-by-play basis. What I'm saying is, like, he gets that that's 3 touchdowns. That's Mason Rudolph on the road against the Buffalo Bills. Like,
No, not just about the 2 seed. Remember, they were the 2 seed.
I'm
All that
like,
matters, bro.
I'm like, you can't tell me this guy isn't
All that
capable. We
matters,
just
bro.
need to see a bigger sample of
Yeah.
it. But I feel like if he could put it all together, he could compete with these quarterbacks, man, that we're bringing up.
It's not Kenny. He's showing it, bro. He is showing it. But this is the part where the timing is in his favor because now we have to make a potentially long-term decision on a very small sample size when you're talking about the relation of 4 games, 3 regular season, 1 playoff. Last one was against the Ravens, backup, stuff like that. But now we're talking about how much money we got to compensate and how much skin do we want in this game to show that we believe that you could do this again. But at the same time, not exposing ourselves too much and potentially getting duped. Because that's the other part that's at play. We talk Joe Flacco. He cooked, and it was like, dang, we saw the Flacco game happen. Josh Dobbs, it was like, all right, it's hot. All right. Kind of fall off the other shoe now, all right? Those are some of the ones where you're just like, this is the conversation. But it's unfortunate and fortunate. It's fortunate for Mason because he put himself in the position where he's making the decision very tough. It's unfortunate for the Steelers. It's like, dang, if we win, we get at least more time to see more of him and what this truly is. Because it's like, bro, you're playing like we could trust that. But is 4 games enough to marry it?
No, I don't think they're gonna do that. But I think it's just,
or at least not. I don't. Yeah, you're right. Not marry, but commit to it.
I think I think it's just the number or how much. It's more about just how much we want to pay you.
Yeah, not just how much we want to pay you. How much are you willing to accept? Because you saying how much we want to pay you makes it sound like the Steelers have leverage. The Steelers don't have leverage in this situation. He's an unrestricted free agent. He's going to get a chance to go talk to other people. So it's not just what they're willing to pay him, it's what he's willing to say, okay, I'm willing to come back for this. Because they're going to get first dibs. Whatever, if he leaves, whatever that number is, we can solely look back to the Steelers and say, why didn't you or why did you?
Who is Mason's Oklahoma State coordinator?
Sad. Because that's the combo right now. It's like, bro, right now, the only team that Mason could talk to is us. So if there's any deal getting done, it's gonna be with us. We get first deals up until March, whenever free agency opens up.
Oh, so there is a period.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
we can sign him.
So
It
from
doesn't have
here-
to be the tag.
No, we can sign him and negotiate and do all of that up until March. After that, he's a free agent, unrestricted. He can go sign wherever, talk to whoever. So if you're gonna get him for a low number, your best bet is to get it done now, because the problem is, and just from personal experiences, they'll hit you with a number in February, and usually that's the disrespectful number. That could be the number that could shut off negotiations. Then when free agency is about to start and they got that tampering period, that's when you could like talk to teams and you technically not supposed to get deals done, but you technically get deals done.
Oh, they're all done.
Yeah. And you be like, how did deal get done 2 minutes into,
Just a tampering
It's just
period,
like,
where you can't even officially
I was
sign
like,
it yet.
how did that happen? How did the deal get, it just opened up and that's already done? Like, so you catch my drift. The longer this goes into the offseason or it gets closer to free agency, the better it's going to be for Mason and his number. That's not going to be good for us. That's why I'm like, it ain't about, like I said, what we willing to just throw out there to him. It's going to have to be a mutual agreement just because of that part of the leverage for him. Like I said, he did a dope job for himself, man. He put himself in a great position right now.
Yeah. AJ Martinez, Deke, your show is cool. I was late for the live. Thanks.
Let's go. Shout out to AJ too, man. AJ be rocking out, bro. I'm trying to tell you, he's a man of the people, bro.
Let's go, UW. Thoughts on Najee's comments? We just talked about that.
Yeah. Like I said, man, some validity to him, and we definitely understand where he is coming from. I've always had this back and forth when it pertains to just some of the handling of locker room stuff with professional athletes. I have a hard time, man, with the treating them like kids when they're getting paid like adults. Eventually, you got to grow up. Eventually, you got to be held accountable. But at the same time, it's one of them things where it's very nuanced and it's not cut and dry each and every season. And as you can see league-wide, it's like, man, you have to adapt at times with your current situation. If you don't adapt, you see, man, the game passes you by or your team start to struggle. And then from there, they start making weirdo changes and stuff like we've also been seeing. So, yeah.
Let's go, UW. It seems like Chooks is going to want traded. Do you see his comments?
I did not. What did he say, man?
He says he regrets signing here.
No, he might regret how it ended. He don't regret that bank account. I can assure you that.
That was basically it. He was like, I regret signing here. If I would have
Right.
known, I could have got benched. I don't think I'd be back.
Like I said,
You got like $12 million or whatever it was for
ahead
the
of
season.
time before nobody even thought. Like I said, this is the hindsight. We all go through it. I'm trying to tell you. You play this game long enough, you go through all them
Actually,
feelings.
it seems like he had a good deal going for him.
All right.
You sitting on the
Sure,
bench,
all right.
you're getting
Okay.
a total of $12 million
All right.
contract per season.
Okay. Do you think he will make more or less next season? That'd be the question.
Less.
Okay. So that's my whole issue, man.
He's probably thinking though the only reason it's gonna be less is because
It's
I
'cause
got
I got
benched. I don't
benched.
have any tape out there.
Yeah. Like I said, man, I get the feelings he's going through. We all go through.
Either way,
it.
you're not getting that
Yeah.
$12 million again. Either
Period.
way, like
Yeah.
because what we did see from you on tape this year
Yeah.
wasn't good enough. There's a reason we were
Yeah.
willing or could easily move on from you and put in Broderick Jones.
Yeah. Like I said, I get the feelings though, bro. And that's the thing, but it's like, man, they paid you generational money, man. Like, you are not tripping on that. You don't like how it ended, and that's also fair. We could agree that we don't like how it ended, but you like the contract. You're not regretting that part. And them their willingness to pay you definitely ahead of time in comparison to the play at the time, man. So, yeah. But when you said it, right? They just lost. You got to get it off your chest, get whatever you got to get off. The other dudes did it on the bike. He did on the. You said it was tweet or was it
No,
IG
not a
story?
tweet.
It
I
might have
think
been a
it was
story.
some of the press conferences
little
today,
press?
or little media
All right.
scrums today.
Oh,
They're doing some back in Pittsburgh.
if
Like
it's today. Yeah, it's hot boy
Cam,
season right now. It's hot boy season.
Yeah, Cam
Yeah.
was defending Tomlin. He
Yeah.
did like a
If you-
2-minute spiel. I think
if you-
TJ was defending
listen,
Tomlin.
If you got time and you got anything you want to get off your chest, today's the day to get off your chest. Because we know we ain't talking to the media no more if we don't want to, because we don't have to be here anymore. Coach T had his final meeting. If you want to come back to have your individual meeting with him, you can. But if you're a vet and you're, about to hit the market, you might have had that meeting today and he'd be like, yeah, we're going to do business with you. No, we don't want to do business. It's literally that simple. I've had 2 convos where he's like, yo, want to do some business with you. I've had one other convo. He's like, yo, you might want to test that market. When he tell you that, you like, bro, I appreciate you, man. Go ahead, give me my hug, man. Hey, look, tell the fam I said what up. I get you on the backside, man. You already know what it is. Yeah. He gonna tell you straight up. I've had him tell me 2 times we want to do business with you. Had to tell him 1 time, hey, go ahead, test the market. It's like, dang. Even though you already knew what's happening, though. I'm like, I already know it. It's like, yo, I got TJ here. You got Bud over here. You just shipped up a dog Debo. I get it. I know what my contract is. Last year, my deal. I made all my money. You kept me on. I got my fat, take your happy vet salary and just coach up and help the dudes in the locker room. I was cool.
Why didn't you give us a Chooks quote?
Because I was happy. Debo, remember when Debo got mad? I said, Debo, you tripping. I'm going to take this money they paying me to do this role, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. Who wants to talk? Man, you want to talk? Bro, I'm going to help you with this 6 technique, bro. All right? You want to talk? Man, let's watch some film today, bro. With the way they paying me, bro, I will gladly do it, man. So, yeah. But I already peeped game. I already do, bro. All right, let's come here and just ask anyways and see what he says. Boy, sit down. What's up, Moats? What's up, Coach C? How you feeling, man? Good, man. Yeah. I appreciate all your efforts this season. That was the start off, bro. That was the start. I should have known. Because the other 2 times, he never started off like that. He never. The other 2 times, it was like, we kind of think he is 3, but we'll see. I'm like, oh, all right, bro. You said tripping, okay? But this one was very different. This one, he came off the top rope. We appreciate everything that you did this season. Like, dang. You start sitting back like, no, don't say it. You should probably go, test the market. I think it's in your best
That's it.
interest.
It was that quick.
Yeah. Oh, it didn't take long. Yeah. Both times it's like, bro, it don't take long. If you know you want to get business done, he's like, look, like he said for me, he said, bro, we see you as this, but we're going to want to do some business, so you need to go to the back, go see Kevin Colbert. I was like, all right, bet. Then he says, do you want to be here? He's like, yeah, I want to be here. Then that's when he was like, I go to the back, see Kevin Colbert. The last time the boy was like, hey, appreciate you. Everything you did this season. Not everything you did, Deke. Well, they say I said, bro, all I've been doing is back it up and, just keep the guys in line. That's it. Make sure nobody got, too much trouble. That's it. Chaperone rookie party. Like, I got you, baby. All right. Nobody blacked out. Nobody got arrested. I did my job. Yeah. But for certain, bro. Yeah. It's real. It don't take long, though. So, yeah.
Tony Daniel, the second. Deke, love you and Moats and the show.
Hey, no, I appreciate you from the heart, man.
But no excuses for being down 21-0. My dad was a ref of the year 8 times in his career in the state. He always said you could call a penalty every play.
This facts. You could definitely do that. And shout out to your pops, too, man. That's pretty dope. I like that. But, no, you definitely could. And I've heard where, like, officials would say, like, just for, like, the flow of the game. But that's the gray area part. And that's why we say why we don't do the whole automated official situation, because that wouldn't be fun either. But the disconnect is what we deal with at times when a call is questionable or it doesn't have a lot of consistency with it. Yeah, those are some of the stuff that create this feeling that we have at time with these officials, man. So I get it, bro. I definitely get it, man.
Michael Brooks, 2 firsts, Chooks, eat contract, 2024 third, 2025 second, and Highsmith. Oh, this has got a trade. He's saying 2 first rounders, Chooks.
And send Chooks, and we'll take on his contract, though. Okay. Send over our 2024 third round pick, our 2025 second round pick, and Alex Highsmith to Chicago to get all of the capital to move up to get Caleb Williams, is what he's saying, bro.
Yeah. And then he says Tomlin would rather leave than coach Pickett, LOL. Well, not based off the report we just read.
Yeah, clearly.
So that trade pack, the Bears aren't doing that.
Yeah, because I feel like we winning that, bro.
Bears aren't
I'm like, we'll definitely win that. I ain't tripping on that one at all.
I am
not tripping on that one at all,
bro.
Caleb
has declared for the draft. I don't know what it would take to get Caleb Williams.
It's going to take a lot. I think it would take more than that, though.
Well, are we in the same boat that they should trade Fields and just draft Caleb Williams? I mean, I'm there.
Not.
I'm there. Yeah, I'm at that point. I think
You know what?
I think Williams is the real deal. I was talking to my buddies about this last week. I think he's the real deal. I think he's like Andrew Luck, Trevor Lawrence type prospect.
Respect.
I think he has a really high floor in this league, and I expect him to be at least Andrew Luck-ish. That's the very least, like, you know, multi-time Pro Bowler type of dude.
No, I respect that.
I think he's gonna be legit. I would trade Fields if I was the Bears. Just draft Williams. So I guess what I'm saying, I don't know what it would take to get Williams.
I see that.
Like
what
if
you
you
mean.
wanted him,
Yeah.
I don't. I mean,
I see
it would,
exactly what
it
you
would
mean.
have to be
It's
a
a
haul
ransom.
and a half.
Yeah, it's a ransom to get him. Yeah.
What did the Panthers trade for Bryce Young? Because no one has anyone made a trade for a prospect like Williams and pulled it off. Because the two guys I'm thinking of, Luck and
but
Lawrence, those guys were already slotted there.
Yeah, and their
Colts
teams
Jaguars.
had already, they were bad enough. Jets
I don't know.
were
I
already
mean,
bad enough.
we're talking about what it would take to get Herbert. What did I say, like 5 first-rounders?
Yeah.
So you're getting Williams on a rookie deal, too. I don't know what it would take. I really don't.
Sheesh. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, the Bears aren't doing that trade.
But you think...
Maybe if you're doing that on Madden, they'd accept that.
100% though, they're moving on from Fields? What do you think?
I don't know. I would. I'm just saying I would.
Yeah.
I think Williams is going to be the real deal.
For sure.
Now, the other quarterbacks here, I don't know. Maybe you would stick with Fields. Like, if you're deciding between May or Daniels, I think Williams is in his own tier, though.
Yeah.
So you're thinking about sticking with Fields?
Well, I'm still in the early portion. You know, I'm still, in, NFL season mode. I haven't transitioned all the way to,
Yeah, my offseason started.
Yeah, so I haven't caught up on all my college quarterbacks to, give the hard just yet. But I got you. Hopefully.
You're with me that Williams is
Williams,
best.
On paper, right, from what I've seen right now, man, Williams is definitely the best of the group.
I didn't think it's close.
But my issue is I haven't watched enough of Drake May and Jaden Daniels to make a hard stance one way or the other of where they fall in relation to, a Justin Fields. That's my only thing. I watch them,
right,
but I'm not, watching them like I would need to.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
I think if Williams wasn't in this draft class, then I think you would consider keeping Fields, maybe trading the pick. Who knows?
Caleb has definitely shown throughout.
I think he's pro ready. I think you slot him in there right now.
I also feel like he's had the pressure of being the guy that you're gonna face a similar sort of pressure when you go to whatever franchise drafts you next year, right? Where you're gonna have to be the man. I feel like just the eyes that have been on him from OU to even going to USC, it's like, man, to an extent, he's felt a certain level of pressure and eyes on him being this perfect prospect for the past couple of seasons. So I do feel like in a way that's also been grooming him and preparing him for whatever franchise he might go into. Now, if we think Chicago is the best landing spot, I think that's a different conversation. But right now, he don't have that choice. That's going to be on them. But I think the Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud argument of if C.J. Stroud was in Carolina and Bryce was in Houston, we're talking about these dudes in reverse order. That's, I think,
maybe
legitimate at times in terms of just where you land at. And that's my only thing where, Caleb versus Fields, I'm like, are we sure that Caleb's game and everything works out in Chicago, or
depending on who they get as the coordinator and stuff?
Because we know they're bringing back
got a decent core right now.
They do.
They're gonna have a good defense. Yeah,
they brought back the coach, brought back the GM.
Yeah, they're just gonna have to get some weapons around, which they have a little bit. They got DJ Moore, they got that tight end, and then you probably draft a receiver then.
Yeah,
with that 9th pick, they have the 9th pick. Maybe you trade up and get Marvin Harrison and
Caleb
Williams and just call it a day.
Yeah.
Because
you would definitely want to pair both. If you could get, you would want to get Caleb and Marvin. If you can.
There's some other good receivers in this draft. I think there's some other guys that are going to be going top 10ish.
Yeah, but I'm saying that's I'm sure they're.
I think you just do it. You just go all in.
I think that's their A plan. Let me get him and.
You're gonna have to trade. You're probably gonna have to trade up to the top 4, maybe 3 to get Harrison, because it's gonna go Williams, May, right? 1, 2. Maybe Daniels 3 if it's just quarterback heavy, but I think 3 is when Harrison's going to be a legitimate threat.
Who's picking 3 right now?
Patriots. Who's 2? Is it Commanders? I think it is.
I think all 3 going to need Qs.
Yeah. So maybe you trade up to 4, you get Harrison. Juby, 28. Come on, dude.
Hey, y'all hit that like button too. I totally forgot, man. I've been distracted. Y'all know I had a lot of stuff I've been dealing with today, man.
I'm gonna trash this take before I even read it. Spencer
I
Rattler would fit right in here, and you don't even need a 1st or 2nd round pick for him. I wonder why. QB1 from the jump. Just watch the take. Go Gamecocks. Hell no.
Go Gamecocks. I see you, baby. Yeah.
No.
Shout out to the Gamecocks. That's where Deion's son first started out at, man. Heck yeah. Little Shiloh headache gang one time.
I want nothing.
Shout out to the
do
Gamecocks down there, man. Yeah. I always think of the Gamecocks. I got a love-hate relationship with y'all. Shout out to Eric Norwood, though.
You have any thoughts on Rattler?
if he were to come into the QB room, it'd be cool to have him as like the third dude. But I don't think he's beating out Mason right now.
Well, this guy locked him in as QB1. Juby.
Yeah. He would get out. Hey, man, everybody on the roster technically gets the opportunity to compete. Don't
They
forget
call that guy Manny Mahomes.
Yeah, everybody gets a chance, man. Everybody gets a chance. They loved him when he was at OU until they stopped loving him. Remember, he was supposed to be what they said Caleb Williams was going to be.
Right.
He was supposed to be the first version of it. And then Caleb showed that, all right.
He did have a good year, though. Yeah.
He had a good first year. Second, you started turning it over when they put all the expectations of him being that.
Heisman.
Yeah, that's when he pissed down his leg. And then from there, Williams is taking over. But I thought Rattler did better going to South Carolina where he got a chance to play with less pressure. And they put him with the dope receiver that was formerly at JMU by the name of Antoine Wells, and he cooked and saved his life down there. So that was another big part, too. When in doubt, get you a JMU guy in your life.
Brilla 92, Mason made one mistake in 4 games, and these smooth brain MFers are crying that Kenny 3 and out panic should have started. Just say you don't know ball.
Talk to him, Barilla. Get it off your chest. He said, yo, it's the final press conference. You get it off his chest, too. Now, this is not our final show. We take our show throughout the offseason. We do it year-round. That's what we do. But Barilla 92, he's like, yo, if this is the final one, I'm going to get that off his chest right now. He had to get it off. There's nothing wrong with getting it off. Get it off, man.
John Rye, first 3 rounds of the draft need to be right guard, inside linebacker, and cornerback, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm good with the combination of that. Inside linebacker, cornerback, and interior O-line. Those would be my 3. However you want to situate it.
And honestly, Deke, all 3 of them had their fair share in it yesterday. Whether we're talking both guards, James Daniels, Seyimalu, Mason Cole, obviously he was getting it. But I will also say Ed Oliver. We've talked about Ed Oliver. He's a really good player, but they also had a dude that came back these past 2 games. Their big D tackle, Daquan Jones, and that was a dude that got hurt early in the season, was playing on Pro Bowl level, and got hurt. He got hurt that same one when Milano got hurt over in, was it Germany or London or whatever?
So he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, this was like his second game back, bro. So that was another part of why that interior was going to be a little bit janky. But that's also where, like I said, for the Bills defense right now, that's where they're the most healthy at, too. Their interior D linemen. So figured that part, the inside linebackers for us, though, I thought E-Rob was straight.
Dude, we were good with Quan. We were good with Quan, E-Rob, and Cole.
We just got help. We got hurt,
We were good with those 3.
We just got so hurt.
We were not getting cooked at all by tight ends or running backs first half of the season.
We weren't.
All.
All of that changed when they got hurt,
down.
man. So I'm like, it got to the point where yesterday I'm watching Michael Walker, Mark Robinson, Landon Roberts try to do the whole tango and Miles Jack. And it got to the point where, we run a lot of Tampa too. When they scored that touchdown pass where the tight end ran by Miles Jack, it made us scared to go back to that type of defense, bro. But that was part of when we talked Quan Alexander, even Cole Holcomb. We're like, that was where we saw them having success. And we pointed to even when Cole struggled, we was like, man, when Brock Purdy had kind of picked on Cole Holcomb that first game, like, dang.
He wasn't as good with the ball in the air.
Whereas
he could stick around.
Right. Whereas we're like, Quan's looking like, bro, he just has a better ability to play it. But I didn't think that we were bad. I just thought we just got hurt. And that was the issue.
But that's what we're going to have to deal with going forward, because these injuries could affect Holcomb and Alexander going forward. Particularly Alexander, because he's older and that was an Achilles.
And then Cole Holcomb did the ACL. Did he have anything else with it?
I don't
know if it was the Grand Slam, or was it just the ACL?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yep.
So, yeah, we can't rely on those guys going forward. Yeah. I would like to have them back, give them a shot. Yeah. To recreate what we had, but we got to draft one of these young guys.
Inside linebackers, you can get high-quality dudes in the 2nd and 3rd round. I will say that, man. The dude from Buffalo, 43, Terrell Bernard, he's been playing a heck of a season this year. He got hurt in the game, rolled his ankle. It's a 3rd-round pick from a year ago, bro. So it's like, man, you can find quality dudes in the middle part to do the inside linebacker stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it has to be a first-rounder for that. Corner, it just depends on.
Do we pick up a guy in free agency? I wouldn't mind
how do we address that?
I wouldn't mind that. Get a guy a little bit more higher end than Levi.
Almost like the Steven Nelson.
I actually want the dude from the Bears. I want Jalen Johnson.
Because that would be the Steven Nelson, though.
Yeah, he's saying he wants back with the Bears.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is out there.
We're going to figure out some people as this offseason starts.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's my thing. I'm like, I kind of lean more. I like the veteran that's kind of proven at inside linebacker at times, whereas with corner, I'm like, yo, I don't want that he's slowing down part, because that's the part we dealing with Pat. It's like he's very established, but we saw him really start to slow down this season. So you're like, how do I get the vet that's not going to break the bank, but it's not too old, but I need a little bit more assurance than a rookie too, because as we saw rookies, you just don't know how they're going to develop, how long it's going to take to develop. JPJ already burns 2 very different rookie playouts. One started from day one waited till mid-season, but how we view them after year 1, I think we looking at JPJ feeling great. We're already to an extent we felt good too. We definitely felt good.
Already Burns. I was like, we finally got a cornerback.
I ain't tripping. We felt good.
Yeah,
we definitely felt
and
good.
he went down the tubes.
It happens, but that's the whole thing. It's like when you're talking just young players, you just never know. It's not a lot of consistency at times, man.
I got faith in JPJ. Got that pedigree.
Bro, come on, man. I know his blood, huh? He pure blood.
QB28, Mason played well, but we're falling behind by not having a mobile QB, I think.
The mobile QB can definitely have an added element. My whole thing is this, man. I thought that Mason's mobility yesterday showed up in the way that Joe Burrow's mobility shows up. I don't think a lot of people look at Joe Burrow as an elite runner of the football, but he can effectively move out of pressure, right? I thought Mason did that yesterday. It didn't appear that Mason was just a statue and couldn't help his offensive line out. Nah, he maneuvered through the pocket, extended the plays, and kept his eyes downfield. I just think, like you said earlier, it's a different style of it. It's not as sexy or as flashy, but mobility is very different when I'm naming Patrick Mahomes, his mobility, Josh Allen, his mobility, Lamar Jackson, his ability, Jalen Hurts, and his ability. Very different. All of them are considered mobile, though, to an extent, but very different in how they play the quarterback position, how they utilize that mobility. Then you throw in a Joe Burrow or a Justin Herbert. Once again, 2 very different styles, but still, Joe Burrow can definitely get it done at a high level, and he's not running all over the place like that. It's more, I'm going to slide here, I'm going to slide here. I know how to give ground, and I know how to get the ball out quick. To me, that's Mason's approach. When Mason needed to get it out fast, I thought that he did a dope job of just pre-snap. All right, boom, I know exactly where I'm going. Bop, bop, and now we here. Then you saw him when he wanted to extend it a little bit, take a little bit of time. He also did that, man.
Matt Stafford.
Another prime example,
still
man.
Getting it done.
Jared Goff is another one, too. He's not overly mobile. Yeah, you saw what he just did.
Yeah. Your boy Dev. Kenny is a mobile Mason. Mason played bad defenses and looked good, but Kenny would have done the same, maybe more.
Regardless of your opinion, that's speculation. That's what we do know. Speculation. Mason did do it. Kenny, we're saying he could, but we never did see it. So, once again, however we want to slice it, one is still a figment of something happening, right? And you're hoping and believing it could. And if I don't think that it could be, I'm just as much in the right. Whereas with Mason, we don't get that opportunity because he actually did do it. We don't get to debate, can Mason go and win 3 must-win games on the road, at home, in weather, and can he perform on the road in a playoff game? We don't have to say he could do it. We saw him actually do it. That's the big difference right now. Nothing against Kenny. You know, I'm still rocking with him too. But that, to me, is the biggest difference when we're talking Kenny versus Mason right now. Everything that we're going to say in support of Kenny is going to be rooted in some way, shape, or form in speculation. Whereas with Mason, it's going to be rooted in actual facts. That's all, man.
Like you said, it would be some form of speculation because I would argue, you know, Kenny has done some good things late in the season. We got to win games in a row, stack it up. But he hasn't had the complete quarterback play in those games like Mason Rudolph has in these last 3 or 4. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, like I said, like I'm sure if we really wanted to fine tune like how to present it and word it, I'm sure. We could definitely get into it.
But it's still speculation
like
because Kenny didn't play quarterback from the first quarter to the fourth quarter like Mason has in these 3 games.
We're just
like
saying we think he can expand this sample size that we've seen from Kenny,
right,
and we
like,
think he can.
I'd probably point to the last 3 weeks of last year where he went back-to-back game-winning drives, Raiders, Ravens, and then finished out with that Browns win in Week 18. Like those were 3 good games, must-have games. But I don't think those 3 games in totality matched what Mason did. Now, the game-winning drive, you know I always love that stuff.
No, I'm with you on that.
Mason was doing some, I mean, that Seattle and Cincy game, man, those deep balls and how we were moving the offense,
and then
we
could also take it back to even when Mason got the opportunity and was at the last game of 2020, Cleveland Browns game, Was that 2020 or 2020? It was 2020.
You'd have to go
yeah.
Lions game before that, but then yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what, like, if you total up his last like 6 or 7 games, like what the stats
no,
are.
they say he's a winner though. His winning percentage was like right up there with Kenny's too.
Who? It probably is.
That's, like they said. Well. Yeah, there was like Mason has like 1, 2. Yeah.
We just don't have those like game-winning drives, those fourth quarters from Mason. Not saying we need it. I do want to see it just to see when the backs up against the wall.
Yesterday was the closest chance that
he did good.
Yeah, yesterday was the closest chance.
I mean,
that was part of our debate though. Going into the game, we're like, we just haven't had a chance to see that.
And he did good in the comeback effort because the Pickens getting held on that 4th down, the slant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was a good ball. I just think it was a pass interference that wasn't called. So what happens for the rest of that series? Who knows?
Right? Is he able to finish?
But
the drive
I think
off?
Mason looked comfortable in the situation. It didn't look like it was too big for him at all. Which I gotta tip my cap. But here's the thing: Mason's played good enough where we don't have to get to these game-winning drive points. We're putting up 30 points, and that's in the Cincy game, the Seattle game, the Cincy game. We're up 24-0 at half.
That's all a part of the debate, isn't it? Because it's like, okay, do we want to see the fourth quarter comeback drives, or would you rather be at 3 scores? But all the information matters because you want to see him be able to do it.
Such a small sample size. Yep. I'm sure if we get to see Mason over the course of a full season, we'll see 1 or 2 of those scenarios. All right, fourth quarter, 1 drive. Let's see what you do.
Yeah,
we'll get to witness that, but we just haven't really seen it enough from him.
No,
because we only got 4 games this year. Back to 2021, he gets the Lions game.
Mm-hmm.
He almost had it. I mean, I guess he almost had it in overtime. He could have, but the fumbles and stuff.
Who fumbled in that one?
Frymouth and Deontay.
Yeah.
Kendrick Green snapped one over Mason's head too.
I feel like it was something I was missing. It was the snap. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been an opportunity.
Yeah.
Browns game looked decent.
Because that was that year he was doing the snaps all. Yeah. That was how the playoff game started that year too.
No, that was Pouncey.
Oh shoot, you're right. Mixed them up. Yeah, good call.
Both 5'3".
Yeah. Good call.
Mohamed Absamed, shout out to Mason Rudolph, man. I'm proud to call him my QB. The way Muth, Pickens, DJ were fighting for him was great. Mm-hmm. Unpopular take, but Najee is mid-tier RB at best. Low arm tackles, bringing him down.
I'm gonna wait on that last part, but I will agree with you. I thought our receivers played a heck of a job in the second half, man. I was really impressed with Deontay Johnson. I was really impressed with George Pickens and even Muth. Muth, man, we know he put the ball on the ground early, but we recovered it. And obviously, I thought he was leaking some oil. You can see him noticeably limping.
He'd come back in.
Yeah, I thought all 3 of them dudes, man, really stepped up, man. The catch that Pickens had across the middle of the field late in the game where he's body control mid-air, vintage hands catch. Thought that was gorgeous, man. Watching Deontay Johnson not just draw the flag on Kyer Elam and then turn around in the end zone and talk big boy talk to him, but then also watching DJ find his chance to get into the end zone again this season when that was one of the things that he was highly criticized for a year ago, not getting into the zone. You saw down the stretch when he got into the zone a lot and then was able to do it in the postseason as well. So I definitely was impressed by that. And shout out to Calvin Austin. We had him on the show. Shout out if y'all haven't had a chance to check out that interview. Dope interview, but it holds true, Deke. They have been saying that. A lot of people have been saying, they're like, yo, that's our favorite one. But the theory holds true. You come on the show, you can have success. It's no surprise that all 3 of those dudes we just talked about right there have all been guests on the show. All right, shout out to Deontay Johnson. If y'all ain't heard his interview, check that out. GP as well. And Calvin Austin. But all 3 of them dudes played well, man. Mm-hmm. But no, shout out to them dudes, though, man. I definitely like them receivers, man. In terms of the running back, Najee going down by some of the arm tackles, I will just say bad matchup. Just bad matchup. We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to call it mid-tier. It's a bad matchup.
It wasn't a great game for him.
It's a bad matchup.
I don't think our line was helping him.
Bad matchup. It was rough, a little rougher day. How'd you feel about Jalen?
He was good. It just looked like our run game from the first 8 weeks. Najee looked slow. Mm-hmm. Jalen Warren's out there. Pop. Mm-hmm. We can't be having this. I thought we turned the corner with the Thunder Lightning tandem, Najee, Jalen Warren.
A couple of things I would put in play, man. That definitely showed,
got me thinking about Abanikanda again.
It definitely showed. But I would also say I don't think that was all on Najee and the O-line. Part of that I do feel like was different from just how the Bills played them also. most teams that have been playing us down this stretch, base nickel, and we fight that fight of if I can get your dime off the field, I can get your nickel off the field, we gonna win, right? And if I get you walking that box, now I'm gonna throw on you. They were using a couple personnel groupings where it was like when they saw Najee out there, they would bring in sometimes it would look base-ish, but still be nickel on the back end, but have bigger body guys in the front, right? And I think Move talked about it also.
Basically, they did their research and said, when we have Najee in there,
absolutely,
they're going to run the ball.
Bro, so when you watch how they gear up.
It's not complicated.
You watch how they would gear up on calls when Najee was on the field, and it's still 12, 13 personnel, right? We're still doing the same, but it's little details. We talked about if it's 13 or if it's 12 personnel, right? Najee and Muth and Darnell and Allen Robinson and Calvin Austin's out there, bro, you playing Ryan because you ain't thinking about them dudes running routes. If it's that same personnel as Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, playing pass. Catch my drift. So at times, man, you watch how they play in this thing for the Bills defensively and just watch how aggressive they would get when they felt like, yo, it's about to be run with Naj. Bro, they down that thing, fired up, and whatever the coach over there was talking about to them, you can tell there was a certain sense of pride that they weren't going to allow Najee specifically to bully them running the ball. Because watch every time they hit Najee on run plays, bro, it was like, yo, I'm trying to prove that we're tougher than you here. Seattle never had that energy. Baltimore never gave us that energy. Cincinnati never gave us that energy, bro. I'm watching A.J. Klein hit him for a 1-yard gain. Because they like, bro, I'm not about to let you run me over.
You know what Najee did before this game? He said something in an interview like,
what did he do?
Yeah, he said, like, I think we got something for the Bills. He had a little quote. More proof we got to just shut up. Like, we got
Never mind. I missed that.
We got to stop saying stuff.
I did not know that. But when I'm watching, I'm like, bro,
he was
they want smoke.
It wasn't
with
as egregious
Najee
as I'm
specifically, though. Yeah.
Laying it on right now.
Yeah.
But it was something like, I think we got some as an offense to, like, expose the Bills.
Yeah, because it looked
I don't know if that makes bulletin board material, but
yeah. I just think it looked to me like they weren't going to allow, because that was the whole narrative. They were more, the Steelers were going to be more physical than the Bills. It just looked like that specific part, they won't going to allow that to be the case, man. But the flip side was I thought Jaylen Warren gave them all they could handle. We just couldn't get him enough involved because of how the flow of the game went. I thought that they struggled to deal with him from the first time we hit him on a screenplay to all them other times when he's cutting it up, and it's like his are splitting this defense, and you're seeing dudes really getting stressed out. Whereas with Najee, it went back to, bro, we trying to gunshot you, man. And every time he got hit, it was like, bro, we want 3, 4, pop, 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 pop. That was the mindset, man.
Yeah.
But I thought they did a good job of just how they would sub it, because that was one of the things I was looking forward to. I'm like, how are we going to address, first down playing against the sub package ball? And I'm like, they didn't give us that. They still would have 7 on the field, but they were bringing in an extra D lineman at times and just protecting them dudes, man, with even how they was aligning interior gaps, slanting the D line one way versus the other, or having twists and stuff to just protect them. That's why I was like, the coaching part of it, right? McDermott versus Coach T, both defensive-minded dudes. And we said both are going to do things to stress one another out. Both are going to do things to make it a little challenging. Who makes the adjustments? That was one of the things I thought they did a good adjustment with. But then the flip side was second half, we adjusted also. We started to throw more to DJ and Pickens out of them same personnel groups. And it just felt different when it's GP and DJ versus Allen Robinson and Calvin Austin. Nothing against them dudes, but they're just different. Yeah. But I personally felt like we was more conservative in that first half. Like, we're not going to mess up. We're not going to do anything to get this out of hand.
Which is fine if we don't mess up.
Correct. But we messed up. And that what blew it off. So now you're conservative-ish with the turnover. Now we're chasing.
Yep.
And now we got to go fast.
And they did a damn good effort of getting the game close. Yeah. Getting it to 7. Michael Brooks, we got 624 here.
Oh, we're good. So I've made some communications. All right. And this is actually part of like my processing too. So I figured, I'm gonna rock out for here for a little while before.
Okay.
I don't want to deal with life just yet.
Cause right now I got super from
we're good.
Like 4:15.
Oh yeah, I was sitting at 4:14 on mine. So yeah, we're on the same page.
Michael Brooks, Mason was cool, but we need a guy. You can build the best team top to bottom, and a dude will come through and show it. Don't matter. Our guys on defense, and still not enough. Look at the QBs left. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. If Mason can keep doing what he did these 4 games, I think we might have a guy. Yeah.
I did want to ask this question, too. because I lean more your side, but I at the same time can understand what he's saying. We feel Mason can be the guy where we're currently at right now, right? Do you think that he could be the guy if we were down multiple pieces, though? Like, say it's no Pickens out there, it was going to be no DJ, or the running game was going to be compromised this week. Or if we knew, you know what I'm saying, like, obviously this would be no TJ, but it's like, yo, the Bills, for example, like, they come into the games where it's like, or even Joe Burrow, it's like, yo, they're coming to these games where it's, yeah, they know they are down some pieces, but you still feel like that dude, it doesn't matter. If he plays his game, we can do it whatever we want today. Do you still feel like that, or do you feel like Mason is able to do that if everything doesn't work in his favor? Health, players, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Because I think that might be part of the dilemma, too, with Mason in terms of, do you believe he's QB1 franchise guy, or is he just thriving in this scenario where the variables, as granted, they aren't perfect, but at least in this scenario, they're good enough with him. But if you were to lose one of these pieces, if this was earlier on in the season when we were kind of going through that banged up phase, is he still able to come in here and play the way that he's playing? He's still able to come in here and look the way that he has looked from a confidence standpoint, fundamentally sound standpoint? I think that is a legitimate question, but
yeah,
we won't have. I don't think we don't got the answer.
You don't got the answer. I think it's worth the look. Mm-hmm. And my thought process is this: how you getting that guy you're talking about right now?
That's the other part.
So right now, I mean, Mason has shown us some things. He's not going to be as expensive as one of these guys.
Yeah.
So I just say, why not see what he's got for next year? Competition, him and Kenny, however you want to do it. Just bring him back. Bring the dude back. 'Cause he's got the talent.
I want to see him compete. I think he deserves the opportunity to legitimately compete for QB1.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. They said, don't hand the keys over, but legitimately, like, it needs to be skin in the game. And it's like, nah, you are legitimately in this convo, not just lip service. But the way that that's going to happen is with the compensation. Because that's going to tell us from the break. As soon as we get them numbers on the deal and the length, we like, okay, he's QB1, or, all right, he's a competition guy, or, yeah, he's backup, bro.
Because I don't want to waste the season or anything, but this would be...
This the time.
I think this is it. It's like, whether it's Mason, whether it's Kenny, it's like, all right, let's see what we got in-house. This is the year. Sink or swim. And then next year would be the one to get the guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get the guy.
Because it might be the scenario where you're getting, you might be getting new guy quarterback and new guy head coach, all that. I think that becomes at play.
Yeah, because Tomlin might be attached to some of this, but he's might also be getting an extension here, so that might not. Yeah,
we got to wait and find out. Yeah.
Let's go, UW. Omar, this offseason needs to take a long, hard look at both the coaching staff and personnel. Go get Kirby Moore for OC. I don't know who he is.
The name sounds familiar. That's not Bama. No. Kirby. I know Kellen. Kellen Moore was the cat that's out in L.A. now. It's over in Dallas. Kirby, was that?
Looks like Kellen's brother. Actually, it is Kellen's brother.
Oh, shout out. Where is he at?
Missouri.
Okay. I was about to say, hey, all right. Well, shoot, work with Kellen. Maybe we'll see with Kirby. I got to look into him, man. I don't know enough about him personally.
Former receiver at Boise State.
Nice.
Adds up.
I like it.
And, yeah, I guess he got Missouri's offense good.
Okay. I like it then.
They're ranked in, like, the top 10 this year.
Okay.
Missouri, they're not a big powerhouse or anything.
No.
Okay.
All right. Shout out.
Might not be a bad look.
Shout out. All right. We did have a couple supers that were kind of in between that Let's Go UW one too. I'm not sure if you had the Nanzito. It says, in my opinion, it feels that everything that transpired this season, how it did, happened to show the organization a bit of realityness with where it stands and how the league is changing. Am I tripping? LOL. I don't think you're tripping. But at the same time, I don't want you to have too many blind spots either. I think we saw a lot of things play out that were true even last year or the year before that. It's a quarterback-driven league. If you don't got a quarterback that can elevate through any of the nonsense, turnovers, penalties, injuries, then you got to do the other approach, which is be perfect everywhere else, and hope your quarterback can survive long enough or keep you afloat long enough. But yeah, that's what the league is. It's a quarterback league. Problem is, there's not enough elite quarterbacks out there for everybody to have one. So if you don't have one, should you just not play or not compete? Nah, you got to figure out another way to get active, man. And that's what we did this year, baby. All right, and then AJ Martinez also says 52. Smoking Steelers pack with a smile. No, 55? Yeah, man, don't do me like that, AJ, man. All right, I was. It did hit. It was some hybrid going on out here, Deke. Just know that playoff hybrid package is hit. Okay, it's a playoff pack. It's a playoff. It's exotic though. Super
you can only
exotic.
smoke the playoff pack if you
It's super exotic, bro.
go through the playoff gauntlet. They only just went through one game.
I'm saying, bro. I'm just, the first round, it's Super Wildcard pack. It's a wildcard pack. You can't smoke the wildcard pack. It's just a wildcard pack. What pack was your pack? Let me see your pack. You got your pack?
It's in the car.
Oh man. Yeah. See, I think I got a little bit left of mine. I see.
Didn't get to open it.
Dang, that's unfortunate, man. That's so unfortunate.
Yep.
I think I got some left. You want some more?
Mm-mm.
It's fire.
No.
Try to tell you, boy, it had me on Pluto.
No.
I was over here like, bro, what is this? Is this black and gold? Is this black and yellow? I ain't know. It was yeah. The colors be. She was like, is this gold or is this yellow? That's what they was asking. Is this gold or is yellow? It's a little haze. I'm out of it.
Was my face photoshopped on the back?
I'm out of it, bro. I'm just out of it, bro. It's just like, yo, I don't look, bro. Yeah. A little bit of that kind of messed that like the stripe a little bit. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Michael Baker. Am I right on?
Yes, yeah, we good right here. Yeah.
Hear me out. If the Bears take Caleb Williams, how you feel about Justin Fields? No shade to Mason.
For the right price, I just think that he could be pricey. He's very talented. Trust me, he's very, very talented. And consistent in terms of his technique. That's going to be the big question. What you willing to give up to get him? But nah, the talent is there. The talent definitely shows, man. I'm interested in him. I've talked about it. I'm interested in him. I just need the number to be right. But I'm very interested in him. But I don't think that interest in him takes away from what I want to still see with Mason. I just think that I can get the best of both worlds because I think that Mason can give me QB1, but I think Fields has legitimate superstar talent in terms of the big arm, the crazy running ability, and all that other stuff in between. But if I can't get that honed in, then I got an issue. You know what I mean? And that's part of why I'm like, what is it going to cost to get him in here? Because that is a very incomplete project. It has a lot of sexy pieces, but it needs to be fine-tuned. You feel me? And if you don't know if you can fine-tune it, that could be an issue. Now, I think we just made some moves with QB. No, we just lost our didn't we just lose somebody? I thought we just lost somebody off the staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that was supposed to replace Canada.
Yeah.
That we hired.
It's a Glenn, right?
Glenn Thomas.
Yeah.
He was like an offensive assistant or something. Lost him to college.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Nebraska.
Upgrade?
What, losing him?
No, for him going to Nebraska.
I don't think he's doing anything special there. I think he's just QB coach.
That's what I was wondering, yeah. Like,
Probably. That was probably a good decision for him because we might be getting an overhaul with our offensive coach.
Oh, yeah, good call. Yeah.
It probably wasn't a bad decision.
Yeah.
Richard Arbizo, Coach T said he's returning.
Shout out. Yes, we did get that info. It's just that was at 420. I got you, bro. We on the same page. You know we on the same page.
AJ Martinez says, yo, guys, Kenny's nuts are on no one. LOL. Damn.
Shout out.
I'm not sure what he's referring to.
But maybe that's a good thing. It's better to keep your nuts to yourself. Unless you're supposed to have them on somebody. If not, keep them to yourself. It's way better that way.
Marcus Greer gifted a Mets membership to Frank Souza.
Shout out to Marcus Greer being a rock star at life. And Frank Souza, welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Let's go, UW. Never want to hear another game from Romo. He's worse than Collinsworth when it comes to being biased. They're scared to put Marshawn on the commentary.
It's not that they're scared. We just have to remember, man, the NFL is a big, big audience. they playing to the demographic that is going to compensate them the best way they're getting compensated right now. So yeah, Marshawn, I'm a dude, love Sean, absolutely. But they for what their business model is, they're going about it the exact way that they're supposed to be going about it. Okay, and them dudes like Collinsworth and Romo, who are really enamored with quarterbacks, you know why they get them primetime matchups? Because everybody talk crazy about they love Patrick Mahomes, they love the Josh Allen, they love all these quarterbacks. Well, they just want to hear a guy to be able to give you that type of talk. I've watched it, I've studied it, but it's certain things that I will never be able to talk about quarterback like that because I never played that. Whereas Romo, he can give you that. And them people be loving it, man. Because everybody love quarterbacks, man. Or at least the majority for the demographic that the NFL is targeting loves that. So that's the big reason. Even though Marshawn, it's a demographic for him now. It could work. I just don't know if the overall business plan for the NFL is going to work with that change. That's all. But they're doing a good job of incorporating him. Just loosely.
Chilla 21, much love, fellas. I got to say, I'm more optimistic at the end of the season than last year. Although we like Kenny, we know that Mason's floor is 2 touchdowns. I think we have more answers this season than last.
I would agree. And that's why I don't look at it as a failure. I don't look at it as no progress or improvement. I think we are in a way better position right now than we were a year ago. Heck, the past 2 seasons we can make a case. I just think that we have a lot more clarity. We have a lot more understanding of strengths, weaknesses. And granted, we have a new set of issues in the sense of how do you retain Mason Rudolph and at what level, right? But at least I do feel like we've identified that we do have a quarterback on our roster that can win us games consistently while playing really well and can handle adversity. The moment's not going to be too big. I think we learned all of that in this sample size right here, man.
Michael Brooks, almost like we game plan for low versus high wins.
Sure, I can see what you mean. In terms of the elements, like if the game plan is if it's gonna be low wind, then we're gonna be throwing the ball. If it's gonna be high wind, then we're gonna run the ball. I can see that.
Just a typo.
Yeah, I can see that. And I don't think that's a negative one way or the other. If the game would have been played on Sunday, the approach that we were taking in the first half was probably great because the weather was going to be, that was what the weather was going to allow. Whereas you can make a case that yesterday, yeah, we could have thrown a little bit more on some of those earlier downs or earlier on in the game when they were being challenged. But hindsight is also 20/20. If the pick doesn't happen in the end zone, it's a different ball game in the sense of the flow of it also. We're not as overly critical about the flow of that first half or even the lack of just aggressive plays. But when you turn it over and then they end up scoring off of it, it just changes how we look at it. So, yeah.
AJ Martinez, what is this one arm carry the ball shit? 2 hands, damn it. It's 2 hands on the ball, especially in a crowd. Weak governor, we win in the whiteout, 10-7.
Hey, AJ, you know what it is, man? Hey, we could agree to disagree, baby. It's all good. But all seriously, man, I don't know how the game would play out in the whiteout. Because if the thought process is we would run the ball better versus them or be more physical versus them, the problem with that theory is when everything was perfect, that wasn't how it played out. So what makes it this belief that now with inclement weather, it's going to play out even more so? That was my whole, just grievance with this narrative of the game is played in the crazy weather versus the non-crazy weather. It was going to be different. Like, I don't know. I just don't agree with it all the way, man.
Cliff the Dark Knight, Moats, what takes place during an exit interview? What was your last exit interview like with Coach T in 2018? He wants you to rehash this.
I just told you, man.
Is this where he told you the team was going in a different direction?
Yeah, man.
You explained it already.
Yeah, I already explained. It's because the chat was at 4:39. Yeah. So yeah, man, we already went through that.
Hopefully he was here for that.
Yeah, but nah, man, that's why you want a guy like Coach Tomlin. Like, it isn't even on some like you're embarrassed, because most of the time you kind of have an idea going in. And you heard even when I was breaking down, my last meeting with him and stuff like that. But what you respect is he's actually gonna look in your face and tell you the truth. Because I've been in the meetings where they're looking in your face and tell you they love you, They want you to be here. They want to extend you and all this other stuff. And then you never hear nothing until you're leaving and this report coming out that you wanted to bounce. So you like, huh? So trust me, man. That's why you hear dudes talk about loving Coach Tomlin, because it's not about he's your boy. He's going to do everything that you want. No, it's not that. It's because he respects you as a man. He's actually going to be honest with you and look you in your eye, and he's not going to seek comfort. He's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to tell you the truth. And you're either going to be man enough to accept that and use it to improve where you currently are, or you're going to take it to heart, or you're going to get in your feelings about it, make it personal, and then you're just going to go in the opposite direction, right? So, yeah, that's kind of how it is, man. But that's one of the big reasons why a lot of dudes love Coach T, man, because he's one of the rare guys that they tell you 2 dogs, 1 bone. He's one of the rare guys that they tell you, yeah, we want to do business with you. He's one of the rare guys that will also tell you, like I said earlier, hey, man, you might want to hit that market. Just like, yo, respect me. I'm a man. Same way I respect you. That's all. So, yeah, shout out to Coach T for that, though, man. But not a lot of coaches do that in the league, man. There's a lot of coaches that be on some very ladylike activities with how they maneuver at times, communicating with gentlemen in the locker room and with how they, like to operate. And, yeah, that's one of the reasons why a lot of teams do lose locker rooms. It's one of the reasons why there is a lot of, tension typically between coaching staff, management, and players, because there isn't a lot of transparency. There isn't a lot of honesty, and there's a lot of trust. That's what makes Pittsburgh so unique, though, because you do get all that type of stuff here, baby. But, yeah, it's real like that, man.
Mohamed Absamed. Kenny Pickett is secretly happy with his loss.
I don't think that's the case, man. All right, maybe a little bit. He said he ain't learned nothing. Has anyone ever asked him a follow-up to that? Have we got any follow-ups? That's what it been should have asked. When Brooke asked Coach T, hey, you got 1 year left on your deal, she should have been like, yo, Kenny, did you learn anything this week?
Does Tomlin walk out for anyone else?
No. But at the same time, who else was going to ask that question? Aditi? It's literally only one other person would ask that question, bro. And I got love for Aditi, but it ain't a lot of people that's asking them type of questions in that type of situation, bro. You already know that. So if the question comes up, let's not act like it was coming up in a positive. And I got mad love for Brooke prior to. She's been phenomenal since she came to Pittsburgh. Love her, man. She dope. But you know what time it is, man. She big bad ESPN, bro. They don't get to that level without being able to get up in that thing. So when she asked it, I looked at wife. I said, yo, great question by her. I said, Coach T is not dealing with that, though. Yeah, but great question by her. Inappropriate in that setting. You fresh off the laws. I want to know, getting a raw emotion. Maybe you're going to flip off, right? Maybe you can give me a rant. Coach T just like, bro, I would much rather just walk off than give you anything that I might give you right now in this moment with these feelings I'm dealing with.
And the walk-off worked out to be best. I mean,
it did, though.
I think everyone loved it.
It was pretty fire,
New
bro.
meme.
It's pretty fire.
Chef
Buck. Like...
Chef Buck. Officially draft prep season.
For Deke right now, yes.
Names to keep an eye on. Center, Zach Frazier and Jackson Powers Johnson. Middle linebacker, Edgerrin Cooper.
What'd you call him?
Edgerrin. Like Edgerrin James.
How do you say his name?
Edgerrin. Am I missing something?
I thought it was Edgerrin.
It might be. I always called Edgerrin James.
Seriously? I was like, yo.
Yeah, hard G.
Okay. That's might be the Pittsburgh versus the South right there, man. Yeah,
it's Edgerrin.
I always called it Edgerrin. I thought it was Edgerrin.
Soft.
Yeah,
Okay.
like Edgerrin. Yeah.
Maybe I'm off.
That could be my slang. I could be from the South. I just thought it was Edgerrin. I didn't know. You threw me. I was like, bro.
Edgerrin.
Yeah, I'm the Edgerrin. Say it again, bro. Say it one more time.
Edgerrin.
Yo, we talking for. Yo, that's. All right. Let me see.
If I know that.
Let me see how hard you say it. Let me see how hard you say giant eagle.
Giant eagle.
All right, so you
no, I just thought it was a hard G.
Okay. I didn't know if that was like the Pittsburgh or yeah. Cause I was like, it's like eagle versus eagle and
giant eagle.
Yeah, because they do say giant eagle. I've heard people say that too.
Giant eagle. Well, I mean, they'll throw an S at the end too. Giant eagles. I think that's just an old person thing.
Oh,
old person Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah, but say definitely Pittsburgh though. I like it though.
They're saying Edgerrin. It is a soft G.
Soft G. All right.
Yeah, so I've been off. All right, I'll
shoot.
get better. I'll change.
Hey, look, bump that. If I was about to say that
Big
related.
Patuzzi's with
probably
me,
not though. Yeah,
he thought it was the hard G.
That's why I was like, I thought that was just how you pronounce it up here, man. So Y'all know I'll butcher a name. I ain't even about to act like that. Don't play me.
GF, do y'all think that would be enough to just bring in Mason and Kenny back and then let them compete, or would y'all bring outside QB in as competition? I personally do. I'm good with that. I would be good with that. And then you drafting a QB late or something, or low tier free agent, something like that, to be QB3.
That's kind of how my energy is with it as well. I think that, number one, we feel good about what Mason has done to at least bring him back to fully have an offseason to compete for it. I think Kenny competing with him. I want to see the new motivated version of Kenny. How does he respond to the situation that he was just in? This is adversity for him. The same way Mason had to go through his set of adversity. But Mason was allowed the opportunity to actually work through in the behind the scenes and get back. All right, let me see what Kenny can do in this opportunity as well, working behind the scenes. If it ever opens up again for him, what does he look like the next go around? And then from there, man, I'm cool bringing in, if I'm keeping Mason and Kenny here at the same time, I'm cool bringing in something that is on par or even slightly less than, or even if we were drafting something. Whereas if Mason isn't here, I think I would be a little bit more aggressive. Actually, I would be more aggressive in terms of just bringing something in that is more proven, because now I'm feeling like I'm back to this uncertainty of what my floor is, just because with Kenny, we really don't know, and I haven't seen him, like I said, for the last month. And that's part of the thing. So it's like I still think he's a good player, but in the sense of how confident am I in him going forward and et cetera, I just don't know that versus how I felt about Mason versus spending a little bit more on a veteran that has already proven himself type concept.
Yeah.
Just because it's the quarterback, man. We know, like, that's not one of the positions that you could just kind of cut a corner with or just get by. It's like, yo, if you're bad or average at that position, it does have a real damning effect on the whole feel of your team. And we kind of saw that at times this season.
Michael Brooks, you guys would pay Mason. You're nuts.
Man, we could agree to disagree. Nothing wrong with that.
I would. I'd bring him back.
Yeah.
Play good.
Nothing wrong with that.
We are Fat Deke. Nah, Moats, don't fake it.
Bro,
You're
they really
happy.
said we are Fat Deke.
Yeah, they got my picture at the stadium.
That's a heck of a. We are Fat Deke. I instantly went to Penn State too when I started to read it.
He says, nah, Moats, don't fake it. You're happy. Has 5'2", 52 clowns.
I said, man, when you are victorious after a lot of verbal, conversations that were a little bit more aggressive towards your fandom, you are put in a position where you can choose to boast, brag, and rub it in your faces, or you can just be graceful and love on Steeler Nation and say, hey, guys, as much as y'all were trying to say it's a rivalry and it's beef, we still are going to put our hands around you and show you some compassion. We're just trying to be the winners that we want to see in this world.
I'm not buying it.
We're just trying to be the change we want to be. We've seen how when you win so much, you can turn and you become one of them franchises that people start to look at and be like, y'all are a lot. So I just think for them, they're just trying to show through actions that, this is the best way to, handle big winning, big games with the stakes very high. You just next man up, next game, nameless gray faces. Here we are.
I'm not buying this gray stock at all. I'm just not.
All right, man. I know still.
When's our next podcast?
Listen, man. Still, they should want us to get fired up. So they should want us to, to be at each other. It's like, no, man.
I think we might be seeing that energy next podcast.
All love, baby.
I think there might be a switch up.
Look, this is all love, man. It's all love. Okay. This is just. I'm here to love on people, man. We just hugging out. All right. Just hugging out. Yeah.
I'm not buying it. Michael Brooks, Mason makes us functional. We need elevation.
And that could also be, and that is legitimate in terms of your thought process. And that's part of what we were discussing too, right? Yeah. If one of these pieces that we're banking on goes down in game or goes down prior to the game, do we feel like Mason at this stage has shown enough that we think he can rise above whatever the scenario is and still get us out of a game? Those are the big questions in terms of if you're going to move on. I think that's probably the most legitimate critique or question is, do you think he can do it if something were to go wrong? And then the second part is what we saw, do you think that's going to be sustainable for him for 17 plus games going forward? I think both of those are legitimate questions, man.
Yeah, fair to have him. Michael Boogerin, maybe it's Boogerin. Wouldn't that be wild if we were healthy? I believe Mason is the answer, and we should draft a QB in the second round to light a fire in the QB room.
Bro, you bringing a second rounder while you got Kenny here and Mason fresh off the deal? Bro, it's going to be filthy. I love it.
I love it. You got to go inside linebacker, corner, interior lineman. First 3 rounds.
Like
second round or too high.
If this was 2 weeks ago, Michael, I would have been all for that because to me, 2 weeks ago, I haven't seen as much of Mason. Whereas right now, I'm like, bro, that to me played like if I was going to draft second round, I'm like, that's the bare minimum of what I should be getting, right? I should be expecting that. So that's my only thing. I don't want to feel like I'm going to waste a potential added resource on somebody that I think is just going to come in here and give me the same, in 2024 at least, of what I have with Mason right now. That's my only hesitancy with that. But I do get, your thought process on it.
John Walker.
Oh, hold on. I think we skipped one too. Michael Brooks, he also says, Josh called it a fake slide. So, got it, man. I'm just glad the referees.
From the horse's mouth.
Yeah, cool. What the referees, shout out to the refs then,
man. To your point and our points we've made throughout this podcast, I do think the refs had their part in this game. Not helping out the Steelers, not favoring the Steelers in their calls at least. Mm-hmm. But also within that play, fake slide, not fake slide.
It's piss poor tackling, bro.
I think, 5-10 yards after the so-called fake slide, DeMonte Casey completely botched that.
It is piss poor tackling, period. We could look at whatever angle we want to look at from that play specifically, too, the overhead angle. Oh, he chattered his feet. Then I want you to look at the end zone angle when you're looking at it from the player's perspective. There is zero about that is saying he is sliding. I'm telling you 100%. If you see his multiple angles, I just want you to look at that angle where you're actually DeMonte Casey or if you were on the defensive side and just watch when you see this fake slide situation pull up and be the better judge of it. That's one of the things, but we can also agree to disagree. And that's kind of where I'm at with it, man.
I saw some holding around the O-line from that end zone angle too, though.
But how does holding have to deal with the fake slide? Are we moving the goalposts? Which one are we critiquing? Are we critiquing holding?
Well, I'm bringing up
or are we bringing
too.
up fake slide?
I'm just talking about that play in general. I'm bringing up that holding.
You know what it sounds like now? It's just like, dang, if we can't say this, we can't say that. What else are we going to say? Man, that grass on that side of the field, it just is slightly higher. So that
there's some holding.
I'm just trying to figure out, bro. Yeah, that's all.
Refs wanted to go blind for that instance for whatever reason. And for a couple of those instances in the second half.
Man.
But yeah, you got to make the tackle. I mean, it could be both. I mean, you got to make the tackle. DeMonte Casey, you have Josh Allen square right there. You make the tackle. He's down at the 25-yard line.
DeMonte Casey hasn't wrapped up. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
it was such a fake slide. Then why does DeMonte Casey run full speed and still wrap him up? If it's such a fake slide.
Oh, that was like 10 yards after the fake slide.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out, though.
His fake slide messed up someone. I forget who that was. That messed up someone else. But yeah, no, Monte Casey should have made the tackle too.
I'm trying to process it, but that's why I was like, we could just agree to disagree, man. It make my head.
There's just a lot that happened on that play.
Make my head hurt.
We need to do some research on that play.
Yeah.
John Walker, the real Captain America. Steeler Nation made your channel, not Bills fans.
Ooh, okay. What does that mean? I'm kind of confused, man. All right. What did you tell me? So you just stop. Hey, Deke, bro, we're going to shut the channel down, man. All right. John Walker, the real Captain America, clearly says that Steeler Nation made the channel, so we can't talk anymore on the podcast. We're just going to shut the whole channel down. Everybody that's a fan, everybody that's subscribed to the channel, Steeler Nation or not, y'all go out there and find it elsewhere, all right? John Walker, the real Captain America, has confirmed to me today at 6:54 p.m. January 16th, 2024, that Steeler Nation made the channel. So, yeah, if I'm up here talking this Bill stuff, clearly I'm on the wrong situation. So, we'll just shut it down. We just won't do the podcast no more, baby, all right? And Johnny Walker can feel good about it. The real Captain America, he get everything he's looking for. Is that what you implying? Because that's what I be trying to figure out. I be kind of curious at times. And when I get curious, I be wanting to ask questions. That's all. So if you let me know that's what it is, bro, let me know that's what it is, bro. We ain't tripping. It's about to be 7 o'clock. Hell, I'm hungry any damn way. What we saying? Jeez. what the hell we talking about, man? John Walker, the real Captain America. If we really gonna go there, that's all I'm saying, bro. Because it came off like you was like saying something. Like I was trying to figure out. Because usually that ain't the energy. So I was like, yo, is that what the energy is? I just didn't know. My bad. You know it ain't the right day for me. I told you. Found out somebody just passed away. It was kind of like, yeah. So I'm really on that type of vibe. And since my mom passed, I really be curious now. I'd be like, well, damn, what's happening? So that's my whole energy, man. But I do get what you said, though, all right? So salute you.
Well, I like doing the show.
I like doing it with you. You see, I put this on today, right? I was trying to.
Well, like
I just ain't like that energy.
I didn't know if that shirt had anything to do with my Star Wars comment from last week.
No, I just felt like that energy specifically. I'm like, bro, you ain't got to be here. We don't charge you this. No, in fact, we keep it free. Even when it's been brought up multiple times to take it to a paywall. You're like, no. So shout out to John Walker. If that's what John Walker wants, y'all let me know. Shit. Got me in here using some unchoice language also. Shout out to John Walker, the real Captain America. Yeah. Anywho.
Well, I wanted to say this comment real quick. I might have lost it. Someone said, here it is, Alex Good, because we were talking about him a little bit. Says Casey couldn't have had a worse year. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wish we would have re-signed Terrell Edmonds.
Hindsight 2020, we know.
Yeah, but I mean, I had high
2020.
expectations for Casey, and it's been a bummer of a year for him all around. Elmer Anich, with reports that Mike T is staying, hoping for a Bieniemy OC signing with a coach in waiting option a la Gerard Mayo.
I'm not against it. And shout out to Gerard Mayo from the crib, 757. Love that. Happy as heck for him. I'm down for it, but Bieniemy is still employed, if I remember correctly, right? Washington hasn't officially made a decision on him just yet.
They have not.
Yeah, we just know that head coaching spot is open. So yeah,
right.
Yeah, so we'll see with that, man. We should definitely see.
Barley 18, head coach, 1-year deal. Head coach wants Kenny. What OC is signing up for this? It's time for a total overhaul. It's just time for both. Let him pick where he wants to go and make a trade. He's talking about trading Tomlin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what he's talking about. And trust me, man, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, I think the trading conversation comes, though, if we're really talking about the decision of fire him. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're,
yeah.
But I think this was all knowing that he got they was going to be back. But I think if you're not going to extend him, then you start saying to yourself, well, we don't want to fire you. But if he only has 1 year left on the deal, it's not going to matter because the trade value will be the same. Because you're walking into a scenario where that team is going to be uncertain of, is he with us for the long haul?
You'd probably do a trade and then he'd sign an extension or someone with a team, like a little 5-year deal or something, I'd assume.
But it would be, it would be agreed upon like prior to that, or at least it would have to report like, because what team is going to give up the assets that it would take to get a coach Tomlin, and you have no type of certainty going forward past this season? Because, I mean, right now, until he signs something longer than 2024, technically this would be his last go around.
Right.
Nah.
But
I do like the thought. I like the thought process, though. Absolutely do.
Barley, second comment here. He says, also, I'm tired of he does so much with so little narrative. These are the dudes he chose to bring in. He shouldn't be left off the hook for bad decisions on coaches and players. You know what? I get what he's saying a little bit here. I get what he's saying. Like his decision to pick Kenny Pickett. Although, how much is that decision versus Colbert at the time? I'm guessing Tomlin had a big say in that. Yeah. I mean,
that was his first quarterback since Ben.
Yeah, he's the coach. Colbert's the one that's retiring. So I'm sure Tomlin had a good feeling about Pickett and wanted to draft him. But yeah, Pickett, Canada, like these decisions have coordinators and certain players that were drafting in place after Ben. I thought it would be a big indictment on Tomlin one way or another. Yeah. Now, still to go 9-8, 10-7 with some of the stuff not working out and some of the injuries that we've dealt with on defense, I still think he's done good things as a coach. Yeah. There's negatives you could bring up, like having Canada, but he also made the decision to fire Canada. Read the room and said, hey, I think it's time to move on. Made the decision to stick with Mason. Like there's a lot of things at play.
Other things too, bro, that kind of get me is this, man. We're talking about, coaching decisions on players and stuff like that. But at the same time, the injuries have factored into why some of these players are even out there right now, too.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that is the context that we casually will skip past.
Like, if we had all of our players, it is the NFL, so injuries are going to happen.
Yeah,
if we had all of our players that we wanted in place
right
at the start of the season, our defense, I think, would have been elite.
It's way different, right?
Quan and
Right.
Cole Holcomb in the middle through the whole year.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think our defense would have been real nice.
So that's my whole part. I'm like, the injuries, they are a part of it, but let's not act like if he has his guys that
Minka was
we're
hurt
supposed
for
to be
like half the
starting. Yeah,
season.
that'd be like saying the Bills offense isn't good because Josh Allen got hurt. Yeah, it's natural, man. If that dude got hurt, yeah, they're not going to be as good. But that's why they are good, because that's the dude they invested in. No different. We invest money in TJ Watt, Minka Fitzpatrick, these linebackers that we had. And yeah, dudes is hurt. So when he gets to that point, you are kind of stuck with that thing, and you got to just kind of figure out how to make it work, man.
Grant and Drazian, thank you, man, for being here with us throughout. Much love.
Hey, no, salute you, man. That was earlier too, man. We still in the earlier portion. We almost wrapping up, though. I can feel it, and I feel like I got some food coming in here too, Deke.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're at 7 o'clock.
Just perfect.
Probably like 20, 25.
Because I like
left.
hanging with you, Deke.
I'm having a good time.
I like hanging with you.
Sequoia Harris, my guys, it is what it is. Y'all, the place to go from here is up.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I want to see what 2 can do in a full season. He earned it, literally. Bring in a decent OC, fix the line, cut Harvin, and we will be okay. Love the show. Yeah.
You hit on a lot right there. You know, I'm not pro cut, but I could definitely agree. Bring competition or whatever you want to bring in. Yeah. Because that was a part of the difference. Even when you're talking about last night's game, man, you watch the Bills when they're punting that thing and just the additional 10 to 20 yards in field position and the impact that has when you're asking your offense to have to make 2 more additional first downs to make up for that ground, whereas the other team is snapping at the 30, the 40. It just, you're putting your team, like I said, behind the 8 ball, and at this stage, this is when all those little things start to pop up even more so. So, yeah, man, like I said, I'm not all on the whole cut thing, but bring in somebody to, yeah, if you feel like you got a clear-cut upgrade, bring it in. If you feel like you got something that's going to push it, if you want to run it back with Brad, wing. I know Braden Mann was,
Remember,
I think he just got available, though.
Did they cut him?
I think
I thought he had a good year wherever he was at.
I think he's becoming, he'll be a free agent, though, is what I'm
Okay.
saying. So it's like, yo, if you want to bring him in, like, that's another, so it's like,
You'd probably have to cut Harvin in that scenario then.
why you say that? They were both here last year.
No, what I mean is, man, based off his last year, is probably looking for like the solid punter one.
Oh, I see.
You know
what
what I mean?
I feel you. Yeah,
He
I feel what you
probably
mean.
has earned that.
Yeah.
I think based off his
Fair
stats,
enough.
I didn't get to see him
Yeah.
punt in and punt out.
Yeah.
But you probably have to just say, hey, you're our number 1 punter. We're gonna
Yeah.
cut Harvin. No competition. I mean, we'll draft some scrub just to do
Right.
some preseason stuff, but that's what I would assume. Either or. I mean, either way, we gotta look in a different direction.
Yeah. Competition coming in, bro.
Either
Yeah.
way. Either way.
Like I said, it's one thing when we're talking in season and you hear my tone about just how quickly we move on or not bring in dudes. But this is the part of time when you start to look at that and say, okay, legitimately, who do you look at and say helps us? Who do we say hurts us? And who do we feel like needs to be a part of the conversation going forward, whether it's in a depth role or who we think we just need to get new pieces in? But this is that time now where those conversations start to become that now.
Who's gonna have to check out the market and who's not?
Yeah. Yeah. You know how that convo go, baby?
Yo Young.
Hey, I think you should test that market out, baby. I strongly urge it.
Yo Young, give Tomlin 6 more years. Give him 2 more cracks at quarterback if KP doesn't work out. Most teams aren't the Packers. It takes time to get a new QB.
Yeah, but that might be a little bit of an extreme with that much time. That's all. But I do like your thought process, though, man.
Yeah, I think you give him. I guess you see how the year plays out. But if we're gonna give him an extension anyway, then yeah, we're gonna give Tomlin a second crack at a quarterback if 2024 doesn't work out. I'm assuming, but yeah, I think that would be the last straw. Like whatever iteration of the team that is, with a new quarterback. I think that's it. I think all right, do or die right here for these next like 2 years, 2-3 years. Yeah. But yeah, I think we just got to take it a season at a time right now. But
like I said, where we at right now?
But Tom, he's gonna get the extension, so maybe that's not gonna be the reality.
But at least we will get this season coming up, though.
Yeah.
We are at least confirmed
which I
there.
wanted.
We're at least confirmed there.
Remix, number 1, need a linebacker, center, or... And then he says, Syracuse over Pitt tonight, Deke. Well, we have the game on. The game on
right now. Now, the plan is to not watch this whole game, man, because, it's
Pitt
supposed to be
hoops
dead
has
time, man.
terrible recently. Not as good as I thought we were going to be at this point.
But y'all still fighting, though?
I still think
still
they're
fighting.
all right. But, yeah, we're down bad. Penguins are looking up, though. They should make the playoffs, and they've been playing pretty good over the last month.
No, I
So
like
we got
that. I like
Pirates, that's going to be a shit show.
Just we'll have some optimism around them. Hopefully, make it to the All-Star break again, and then we'll go from there. You know the circle life over there.
Well, we already had one of our prospects
Get hurt,
declared out for the year.
Yeah,
Andy Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen us make any good moves. It's not like we brought a Tawny in or anything, so we'll see. Michael Brooks, Moats licking his chops if lined up across Mason/KP.
Nah, man, don't be like that, man. Them dudes, you're not looking at them and feeling like overly threatened, but you still respect them because they're NFL players. Jake Brown is a prime example. Teams could sleep on Jake Brown if they want to. Jake Brown was hitting people for 250 and 300 at times, man. It's like, you respect it, but we just ain't fearing it. But we look at our chops. I can't wait to get after this cat over here. Like, we still gonna respect it to an extent. Yeah, still gotta respect it.
Sean McCartney, with the Steelers struggling to find a solid OC in the past, how do you feel about our chances now? Also, if Mason leaves, we should get a QB to compete. Fair. How do we feel about getting a solid OC? I think it just depends on what the vibes are.
Yeah.
How much we willing to spend? Who are the targets? Are we going outside? What's the confidence level?
Well, this will be our first time in a while going outside.
I'm at 50-50.
We ain't been outside.
Does Omar Khan have any say in this OC search?
I'm sure to an extent.
Yeah, he's a little more aggressive, I think.
We just
with
haven't
his
been
attitude
outside.
in the room. That could help us getting a bigger name or a guy that's from the outside instead of just.
But I also think
keeping Sullivan and Faulkner.
I also wonder how much of that was needed at the time when Ben was here. You know what I mean? Like this thought process of you could promote from within. When he was here, I think
the Canada move is the bad one. I like that was Haley the one move. Arians made sense at the time. And I think Finkner made sense to an extent.
Absolutely.
And we had a good offense in 2018 with Finkner.
Right. I just think that when we're in this transition of the first one we had where it felt different was Canada, and that was a failure. But now it's like, that doesn't mean that it's going to fail again. I just think that it's a way different set of circumstances also because Canada was hired while Ben was still in his final season here. Those pieces were just all over the place, whereas now we're going to be coming into this thing, I just think way...
Coming off of the failure of Canada.
Yes.
Where it's like, all right, we got to look ourselves in the mirror. That wasn't the right call. Just hiring from within Canada. This guy that I'm a little bit more familiar with too. Mm-hmm. Like maybe I gotta get a guy that makes the room more uncomfortable, that I'm not familiar with, but has this certain offensive approach that can shake things up. Right?
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, who knows? I don't know how much this is gonna be a Tomlin thing. Rooney, Kahn. I'm sure they all work together because that's what I hear they do during like draft time and stuff.
I mean, that's from what I understand they do. Now, Deke, I didn't realize it's about to be 7:10. So what we're going to do is this. We back in the building tomorrow.
Okay.
And I did get that confirmed. I thought Baby Girl was going to have her performance. This weather situation been making it weird over here. Shout out to the Pittsburgh snow. I like it. So our schools are actually being soft, and they've been 2-hour delaying and like canceling stuff. So we could do a podcast tomorrow, man. So we in the building. So I was going to say, bro, which one did you just read off? Because I was going to make sure if you got a screenshot, you got them all? Okay.
I do have them all.
We back in this thing tomorrow, man. I'm just lead right
Kel
back.
Turner is the last one
Kel Turner is, all right, wait, let me see where Kel Turner is, man. Both losses yesterday?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because, bro, this is kind of crazy. Yeah, bro. So you got them all documented. We good there. We spin the block on them tomorrow. Same time frame. We in this building, and we go get it after. Unless John Walker doesn't want us, then plan a picnic. We can go play.
You know what?
golf.
If he drops a $500 super chat
Jeez.
right now, we could take tomorrow off.
Bro, I'll go take you golf. What you want to fly down to a guy? Where you want to go to?
We could take a week off.
I'll
actually,
take
if he
you.
drops $500.
Yeah, they always talk like that. They'll never back it up like that. I'm like, bro, pay me to shut up. I will never say anything else again. Deke, we'll be gone. We'll pack your bags. Matt, don't pack your bags. We'll buy when we get there. All right? Let's have fun. We'll just, yeah. Okay?
I wanted to read this comment real quick, just because.
What you got?
Mason Mania says Terrell Edmonds would have tackled Josh Allen's ass.
Oh, no, that's a fact. That's definitely a fact.
Yeah.
But we know the downside. It's like the coverage part.
But he's
what
not
we
bad
saw
in
him coveraging as well,
he's
man.
He's not bad in coverage.
You know I'm with you, bro.
He doesn't get picks.
That's what I meant by the coverage
Casey gets picks, but he also is
He gives up some
overrunning
explosives.
routes.
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing.
Well, it's because he's going for the picks at times. It's like the gift and the curse of being a
He
great
wasn't
athlete.
doing that last year, though.
Yeah.
This year, he just
He's
decided
playing more aggressive this year because he has more freedom this year because you don't have to deal with the Terrell Edmonds this year.
Well, that's why Casey was available before we signed him last year.
Last year was different. Last year, you're not the man. Last year, you do have somebody that we're playing over you. So you need to operate within the framework of this defense. And remember, he also got suspended last year. So to an extent, he really trying to be by the book. Whereas this year, I think way different scenario. You don't have Edmonds. We brought you back and kind of said we're choosing you over him. And he got the nod over Keanu.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, yeah, when you've got that green light, you going to play way more aggressive. You're going to take way more chances. And it's just unfortunate when we talk game of inches, Mac Jones throws, stuff like that, where you're just like, dang, man, that's you making that play. That's a pick. That's sexy. We love it now. Instead, you miss it. It's explosive play. And now here we are in our feelings.
John Easton says, hope Chad has a miserable night.
Shout out to John Easton. John Easton, I like you. You're my favorite John Easton today. You're my favorite John today, all right? Shout out to you, John Easton. I like your energy, man. I like you a lot. All right. Well, yeah. With that being the case, we go Deke and packaged up all the supers that were remaining because it's actually a ton still. And shout out to each and every one of y'all that was with us today for as long as y'all been with us today. But yeah, we're going to definitely have to hit this one and make it a two-part. All right, so we're going to spin the block on y'all tomorrow, 4 o'clock. Y'all know how we get it in. And we're going to have some more fun with this thing, all right? As we continue to process through everything that we are in right now. And, yeah, start looking off-season-ish. Unfortunately. But you got any left on your end, broski?
No.
I like it there, man.
No.
All righty. Well, shout out to Deke. Shout out to Steelers Nation.
Yeah, see, I already see what you're doing. This is how I knew all the gracious talk is fake.
I didn't say anything.
It's all fake.
The reason why I laughed is because I was just laughing at myself. I was like, oh, man, you really allowed yourself to even just give it a glip, just give it a little, and I just laughed. So I was like, it's Steelers Nation. I don't want to make it personal. Shout out to Steelers Nation. See? So it's all good. All good. All right? No harm, no foul.
That was a deviant time.
No.
That was a deviant time.
So we're good, bro. That's it. Hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, baby.
Peace.